Yeah, I'm back playing one of my favorite games of all time, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I have no doubt I'll be playing this game for the rest of my life. But you know, one thing I've never done in Skyrim is do a collector playthrough. Just a playthrough where we collect a bunch of different stuff that I think is cool. I've always wanted to do it, and here we are, doing it. Now, I've gotten a lot of slack in the past for not looking into the race powers and abilities going into a playthrough, so I made sure to do that this time. And we're gonna go with Orc because my build is gonna be a warrior build, which going into this playthrough I thought was one of the hardest builds to do on legendary difficulty. I'm curious what you think is the hardest build to do, not whittling it down to like unarmed or using a fork, but between like stealth, warrior, and mage. I'm gonna be using some spells. I'm not putting limits on myself per se, but I'm gonna stick to melee being my only real damage doing weapon. And the Orc's racial ability is once a day you can activate it to last for 60 seconds. You get double the amount of melee damage done, and you take half the amount of damage you otherwise would. Anyway, about 20 minutes later, I finally made my character. I think he looks pretty good. I'm gonna call him Travis. Travis the Debt Collector. Alduin is about ready to turn up and crash the party. I will say really quick that I will be focusing on quests and story, but only if it leads me to something that I'm after to collect, you know? For example, if I want to collect all of the Dragon Priest masks, I'm gonna have to do the main storyline eventually, but if I want to collect the Dragon Claws, I don't have to do all of the Civil War quests to get the claw from that quest. So I'm gonna do some things up to a certain point, and I might stop, because I don't have to continue once I've got that claw. That won't stop me from finding out there's something I want to collect later on in that Civil War storyline, but if that's something that annoys you, you've been warned. This is going to be a playthrough of firsts, and we are moving now. One of the firsts that I got up to was I died before even getting the ropes cut off my wrist. Yeah, I stepped in some fire, and I'm dead already. I don't think I've ever done that before. I'm back, Hadvar. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Because I know I didn't. Let's try that again. I'm at the part now where I get to pick to go with Hadvar or Ralof. I went with Ralof. Not that I'm gonna side with the Stormcloaks. I just feel like I never would pick the Imperials at this point in the game where they just tried to take me out. Now if we could take these ropes off my wrist, that would be lovely. Not gonna be collecting much with my hands tied. Now this guy that you loot at the start has a bunch of light armor. I'm gonna be going heavy armor in this playthrough, but for now that will do briefly. Because you get attacked by a couple Imperials who are gonna slay and take the heavy armor from their bodies. Nice, now we're kitted up with some heavy armor. Still very easy to kill, but a little bit less so. Just gonna double check before we continue that we are in fact on legendary difficulty, and yep, looks like we're good. I am so ready to die to a skeever, it's unbelievable. Obviously in this playthrough we're gonna be a loot goblin and we're gonna collect a bunch of stuff. I have selected a good few things that I want to make sure I'm collecting as we go throughout the game any chance I get. I'll talk more about the things I'm collecting as the game goes on, but I will say that coin is one of them. We're gonna need to be spending a lot of coins, so getting rich is a thing I want to do. Oh, and if you're curious what version of the game I'm playing the Anniversary Edition. I know there's like 50 of them, which should be exciting. This is my first time. Normally I just play the Special Edition. I can't wait for the double Anniversary Pack Edition to release. And that's a joke, but I would end up buying it, no doubt. But Todd should seriously think about hiring me. I've got loads of ideas. Like, that can be a Skyrim his and hers set, you know? I always feel like a kid in a candy store at this part of the game, running around collecting all of the ingredients along the way to Riverwood. Passing by the stand-in stones, whichever one you choose gives you an increase to XP gained for those skills. We've got Warrior, Mage, and Thief stones, so I went with the Warrior. Alright, so I get questioned a lot if I'm actually playing on Legendary difficulty. I get some people outright saying that I'm not playing on Legendary difficulty, so I figured I would kill those wolves there and we'll quickly have a look without cutting the video. Yeah, still on Legendary difficulty. Okay, I don't know if there was a way I could show you that I was playing it the whole time. I would, I promise. Made it to Riverwood. Nice. Had a chat with this lady who is a friend of Ralof. Said I need to go to Whiterun to talk to the Jarl about what happened. And then said I could take any of the supplies that she had. I took every single piece. Now let's go see what the trader has to offer us. Not gonna sell any of those supplies, I promise. Has an alteration spell called Oak Flesh I will take. Improves the cast cast this armor rating by 40 points for 60 seconds. Now, when we think we're gonna get into some trouble, we can cast this and be slightly harder to kill. And speaking about being harder to kill, I've got a skill point to spend. We're gonna put into health and use the skill point itself on the heavy armor juggernaut perk, which will increase my armor rating for heavy armor by 20%. Now let's head on down the road to Whiterun. This is gonna be my first fight alone. I casted Oak Flash and got into it with some wolves. It was close, but I just about managed to survive. Now we have another skill point. I'm gonna take health and juggernaut once again. I was still collecting all of the potion ingredients I could find on my way to Whiterun, and sadly I had taken a little too long to get down here, and now it's dark, which means I can't gather up some blue butterflies today, which I like to use to make potions early on, but straight on in to Whiterun for us. Poor people of Whiterun are gonna wake up and there's no flowers anywhere. Now that all of the plants have been taken by yours truly, we can head into Dragon's Reach to talk to the Jarl. Told him about the dragon attack at Helgen and was gifted this new steel chest plate. It's better than mine, and not just in the defense, but I think it's easier to look at too. Now to talk to the wizard with the Jarl, and they want me to go get the Dragonstone of Bleak Falls Barrow. I made a few potions and leveled up my one-handed with another skill point I had. Sold some stuff to a few merchants around town and went back to the wizard to buy Stone Flash and a fast healing spell. Stone Flash is like Oak Flash that I'd been using, but a slightly upgraded version. And fast healing heals 50 health points per cast. So I can use healing hands now, but Stone Flash will require more magicka than I currently have. And that's fine, we can use Oak Flash until we can cast it. It's daytime now, which means the blue butterflies will be out. I ran along past the watchtower, gathering as many as I could. I ended up with close to 90 blue butterfly wings to go along with my 90 blue flowers I had collected already. What is this water trying to do? It's flowing like 5 different directions all at the same time. Give me that flower. Alright, so we're gonna be heading all the way back to Riverwood now because I want to get a companion. There's 3 people in Riverwood that are in a love triangle of sorts, and you can get 2 of them as a companion. One is this guy, Sven, who wants me to deliver a letter to a woman called Camilla in the general store. The letter isn't from him though, it's supposed to be from this guy, and the letter's gonna make Camilla mad at him. But instead, I'm gonna turn on Sven and give the letter to this elf to alter. Now we give it to Camilla, and she is mad at Sven the Bard. And now the elf is gonna be happy with us and will come around as our follower. I know, I'll start collecting stuff soon, I promise. First thing is gonna be the Golden Claw in Bleak Falls Barrow. It always feels like a good way to break in a new character, get familiar with the game again. Before we get there, there's some trouble on the hill with some bandits. Stormed on through them and even got a nice mace. Yeah, I will take that. Nice little upgrade. Now continuing on to Bleak Falls, which has gotta be the most nostalgic thing in a video game for me. I remember getting up extra early before school to play Skyrim, and then pretending to be sick when school came around just to continue playing. And this place unlocks that memory every single time I come here. The bandits outside weren't too difficult to handle, just made sure I had Oak Flash casted at all times. Don't get me wrong, it didn't make it easy for me. They still take a lot of hits and do a lot of damage. I got an extra level. I'm gonna put the attribute point into health, and I will take one-handed again for the skill points. Now we do 40% extra damage with one-handed weapons. Once inside, we were met by more bandits to take out. You can leave this guy to walk into a trap, but I like to take him out myself. We get free XP from doing it. That's another thing I want to collect. Books. When I find books, I'm gonna take them. Now to take down the giant spider. Luckily, it was targeting my follower the whole time. Now this guy has a golden claw that we need to progress in the dungeon. He always tries to run away when you cut him down out of the wimps. I managed to take him out before he got to the undead. Now give me that golden claw, you chump. There's a bunch of these we can collect around Skyrim. This is the first one. One of the reasons I picked Orc for this build was for its racial power. I explained it earlier, but we take a bunch less damage than we would from getting hit, and we also do a ton extra damage from hitting enemies. I ran through all of these enemies in here. It was pretty great. I made it to the door that the golden claw unlocks. If there comes a day I forget the combination to this door, of the top of my head, then I might just cry. Now we are ready for the big fight of Bleak Falls Barrow. First, we get this word of power from the wall, and then we gotta rush this guy. It wasn't too hard. I know if it hit me, I'd likely be dead, but it didn't happen. Now to take this dragon stone and loot this place like the loot goblin I am. I'm gonna get out of here. There's nothing I didn't take that wasn't pinned down. Early morning, day free already. Time is flying by. Now to quickly return to Whiterun to turn in this quest and give the wizard his dragon stone. As far as the main story goes for now, this is all I'm doing. I got this new chest piece. It's not as good in terms of defense as my last one, but it is enchanted with heavy armor. So I don't know if it's better, but we're gonna use it for now. I put 2 points into the alchemy skill tree and made a crap ton of potions out of the blue flowers and the blue butterfly wings to sell. I am also just gonna continue to level up health for now to make me less squishy. Also added a point into haggling in the speech tree for better prices and a point into restoration. Oh, it's daytime and you know what that means. Shops are open and I can sell all of these potions I've been making. Now that that's done, it's time to do some traveling. I'm gonna go hire a carriage outside Whiterun to take me to Markov. Now that I've made it, it's nighttime and the stores inside will be shut. So we're gonna just turn around and head to a orc camp up the road. It's right around here on the map. Uh-oh, there's a stupid cat in the way. No, not the cute and cuddly kind, but the fluffy murdery kind. It's fine, I managed to dance around it and not get hit even once. That could have been a nightmare, but now to head up here to the camp. I made it. Now inside the longhouse, there is this lovely lady. She's a heavy armor trainer that I'm going to take advantage of. And each character level, so when I go from level 4 to level 5, we can train 5 times. And then that's it. But once we level up again, we get an additional 5 training sessions. But I'm just about out of coins, so we can't do it again, sadly. I will be back, don't you worry. Oh, and there's also this orc that you can persuade to come traveling with you. I passed the speech check and it was nice knowing you, elf. Yeah, I had him go home and I'm taking this orc with me. I didn't know until recently, but orcs are actually a kind of elf in Skyrim as well. I waited till it was daytime so that I can trade with this alchemist outside. And now I can run back to Markov, past the giant fluffy murdery cat, and do some more trading now that it's daytime. Before even making it back to Markov, I found some Khajiit hanging out on the road. Now, I've never played Anniversary Edition before, so there's a lot of new stuff in this version for me. The Khajiit had a backpack for sale. Yeah, this is a thing that was added with the Anniversary Edition. And I gotta say, as a very vanilla-based player, this feels illegal. But that extra inventory space is gonna be so nice. I made it, and if you want me to sum up this place in one scene, this is basically it. It's okay though, I don't plan on being here for long. Just gonna do some trading really quick to empty out my inventory. And now we're gonna quickly run back to that orc stronghold. Bumped into my ex-follower on the road, which was awkward. Get it? Awkward. Because I'm an orc. I'd love to say that was the last time I'll say that, but it won't be. So why are we going back to the orc stronghold? Well, I've got some more coin now, so we can do more training for heavy armor. Found the person to do it, and did 5 whole sessions again. I did get another level up, so we could technically do some more training, but my coin has run dry already. Anyways, we are now level 10, which unlocks a whole lot of quests and opportunities for us. We're gonna head all the way back over to Whiterun, because I need a house. Just gotta wait around for the mailman to turn up and give me my mail. We don't have to be at Whiterun to do this. The mailman could turn up anywhere, but I exhausted the coin from Markov, so I figured we'd come here and do some trading while we wait. First, we are gonna give this beggar a coin. That will give me the charity buff, which will increase my speech by +10. It's a good thing to do while we're doing business around towns. Did a little bit of alchemy training while I waited. Best thing about this is that once I'm done training, I can just sell my potions to get my coin back to the alchemist. Running out of things to do, I even went to upgrade my orcish axe to be a fine orcish axe. We do have another level, still going into health for now. Also added the perk point into alteration. You took your sweet time. There is the mailman with my letters. I read all that I got, but the one I really wanted was this one. It reads, long ago, my ancestors built a great hall on the mountainside north of Bilgulch Mine. They called it Hendraheim, a warrior's home that rivaled Sovngarde itself. As the last of my clan, I wish to beneath this home to a true warrior. You are not a Nord, yet I've heard your prowess in battle rivals that of our most legendary fighters. I ask you to prove it with your blade. She has no idea I am going to cheat. Yeah, here is the place, and it's a 2-on-1, sucker. Gotta be the easiest home to get. Now we own this house called Hendraheim. It's not a part of the base game, it was added in the anniversary edition. And look how pretty this place looks. Our first order of business is I'm gonna go to this mannequin right in the middle of the house and put the armor of its previous owner. Oh, I'm also gonna start using the sword that she just dropped. I know I just upgraded my orcish axe, but it's a little bit better. The main reason I wanted this house specifically was because of this room downstairs. It has a spot for a bunch of different collectibles, including a load of the Daedric artifacts, which is a thing I want to collect first. Yeah, we are off to get my first Daedric artifact. And that first one is Dawnbreaker, which is a sword. You can start the quest by finding Meridia's beacon at any point after level 12 in a chest. I believe you can also just come to the statue and it'll give you the location of Meridia's beacon, but I've already found it, so let's put it on here. Once that's done, you get shot into the sky to have a chat with Meridia herself. She talks about how there's darkness that has seeped into her temple and that she needs me to clear it out. And then she dropped me back down so I could do just that. Now, the way this works is you have to transfer her light throughout the temple, just like this. Now, there's a lot of corrupt shade inside. They seem to be pretty tough. We might have come here a bit too soon. I did level up and put a point into alteration again. Now we can cast the upgraded alteration spell called Stoneflesh. Now let's just continue to take the light throughout the temple. Alright, we're almost at the last room, and let me tell you right now, it did not go well. Little did I know, I was not ready for this place. See, I had to take out 4 shades and a wizard. The wizard was a nightmare. It has this stupid ice attack that one-taps me every single time. When I say I was here for a long time, I am not joking. I tried so many times, but I'm not ready, so I left. Since I was close by, I went to visit Solitude, which is another city, one of my favorites actually. I had a scratch on my face and I ended up swinging my sword by accident. No, I'm gonna load another save, not gonna deal with that rubbish. Okay, I'm back. I promise to behave this time. I'm only here for business. I went to do some trading and some speech leveling at the Bard's College. Now I'm gonna head back to Whiterun and... what the heck is wrong with the floor? Still working on my one-handed. I'm gonna put a point into Bladesman, which makes my attacks with swords have a 10% chance of doing critical damage. And I'm gonna take Savage Strike, which makes standing power attacks do 25% bonus damage. And we're gonna go ahead and brew up a potion of paralysis using a Canis root and a imp stool. I was hoping that would help, you know, paralyze the wizard and help me win, but spoilers, it doesn't. The way it works is I can put it onto my sword and take a swing. That single hit will paralyze for however long the potion says. Well, I say it didn't go well, but it did kinda. See, the wizard has 2 different forms. I didn't know. When you kill the wizard, a shade pops out of it. That was where the trouble started. I did save a level up for when I got low on health. If you didn't know, save a level, spend it when you're in danger, and you will fully recover. I did also manage to buy a few weaker versions of potions of paralysis from Acadia in Whiterun. These ones only last about 3 seconds, but it was enough time for me to take the wizard down. But like I said, that is where the trouble started, because I was not expecting another shade to pop out. It wasn't long before I was taken down very quickly. Ugh, I'll be back, you jerks. I'd like to take a minute now to talk about FlexiSpot. They have a huge Christmas sale going on at the minute. I love putting things together, and FlexiSpot made things so insanely easy for me. Not only were these the easiest instructions I ever had to follow, but if they weren't easy enough, you can scan this thing, and it will take you straight to a video someone showing you how to put it all together. This new desk I've got is insane. I'm obviously in the middle of putting all of my stuff back on my new desk. Like I said
said, easy to put together, easy to use. You can even set a few different heights for it to remember. Just click one button and it takes you right to where you want it to be. I picked the biggest one they had to offer, but they've got all different sizes to match your needs. So while I continue to play with my desk, why don't you pop on over to Flexi Spot and take advantage of that Christmas sale. Easy to put together, easy to use. You get money off right now, and it's just a good time all around. Oh, and also, they do different kinds of chairs too. Yeah, whether you want a desk or a chair, they have it, and there's a sale on right now. Thank you, Flexi Spot, for my new desk.
That is one of my favorite early game potions to make, to grind up alchemy and to make a bunch of money. I know there's better ones you can make, more expensive, and they train your alchemy faster. We'll do some of those later. Oh, the blacksmith in Whiterun has this one-handed piece, plus 15% more damage for one-handed. I will take that. And then we're gonna immediately break that item down at the Arcane Enchanter so that we can use it on other items. My enchanting level isn't very good though, so we can't really make very good stuff yet. Gonna do some running around towns now. First stop is Riften. We're gonna hire this carriage to take us there. Now I'm looking for a specific weapon with a soul trap enchantment. If we get one of those, we can easily grind up our enchanting. Brynjolf will not leave you alone when you enter the town unless you talk to him. He is how you get into the Thieves Guild quest. I don't have any interest in that right this second, but I will do this easy quest for the XP and coin and just to get him out of my hair. I'm not very sneaky with all of this armor on, so I stripped off to make me quieter. I had to steal this ring in this strong box to place on this person over here so he gets caught with it and gets in trouble. And we are done. Some nice, easy XP and gold. I got this smithing necklace from Riften, so it's not a total loss, but no soul trap weapons. Back on the road again. We are off to Windhelm next. And you know what? I'm gonna just walk so I can collect ingredients along the way for potions. There it is, the home of Ulfric Stormcloak. We're here on personal business, so I won't be talking to Ulfric. No soul trap weapons again, sadly. It's alright. I'm still selling things and buying some other enchanted bits at these towns. Oh, I also adopted a child today. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to do it, but this one made me feel bad. Wanted me to buy her flowers so she could afford to get food. I had to adopt her. I did just that and sent her home. And while she goes that way, we are gonna head off to Winterhold. This time, I'm gonna take a carriage again to speed things up for us. I really want that soul trap. Looks like the trader here doesn't really sell too much in terms of weapons. It makes sense with us being in Winterhold. I can already hear some of you guys typing. I know there's a soul trap spell you can get. It works kind of the same, where you cast it at an enemy, and if they die within a certain amount of time, it fills up a soul gem for enchanting, same as a enchanted weapon would. But I'm already switching between alteration spells and healing spells, so I'd rather it just be on a weapon for me. The hunt continues over to Dawnstar, not skipping leg day today. I made it, but again, no soul trap for me. We should really change up how we're doing this a little bit. I checked Reddit to see if anyone knew where there was a guaranteed soul trap weapon.
What's a milk drinker like you doing out here? Go home to your mother.
What's a milk drinker?
Like
2 times? I heard you the first time, you I played this game so many times over the years, and I've never once been to this area. It's a pretty easy dungeon itself because you have 2 other NPCs trying to make it through with you. But you do get to the end of the dungeon to this room, and there are a few tough baddies. But again, it's kinda easy with there being so many of us. After you take down the baddies, the wizard Argonian turns on us. Don't ask me why, I wasn't really paying attention. I just wanted my soul trap. There it is, the soul trap battle axe. I will take it. There's another word of power on the wall over here too. We're gonna steal. Nice, nice. Now it's time to exit. What? How did you get out there? Now back to good old Whiterun for me. I bought a mace to put soul trap on. I know I'm siding with swords for one-handed, but for now, this will do. I will switch back later. This does more damage, and we have to kill enemies as quick as possible. I'm gonna disenchant that soul trap weapon I got, and upgrade this mace to be a superior mace. There we go, so it does more damage, and now we can add soul trap to it. We have a soul trap superior warrior mace. Nice. I'm gonna buy some gems. Plan is to craft a load of things at the forge and then take them to the arcane enchanter to enchant and level up those 2 skills. And eventually we'll be able to make crazy good armor and weapons. And I can also sell the enchanted stuff to make coin by selling them back to the merchants. To get more souls, all we gotta do is have soul gems on us and go kill enemies with our soul trap mace, and then we can fill up those gems with their souls. We'll try not to die to mud crabs while we're doing it. Travel between Solitude and Whiterun while grinding this stuff out. I put a few more points into enchanting too, so my items were better enchanted and in turn more expensive. Just gotta murder some innocent crabs and take their souls to turn into weapons. I know how horrible we're being right now, but I promise I didn't do that. If you're still watching the video, I'm gonna assume you're enjoying it. I would appreciate a like if that is the case. I make these videos for free and it just lets me know that you want to see more of them. But next, we're gonna take a carriage to Falkreath. I need to go here to get another Daedric artifact in the future, but I am going here now because I want to get my hands on a second house. While we're grinding on the crafting skills, there is a few houses you can make in Skyrim, and those houses can be made with a greenhouse. Greenhouses are great for alchemists and just boosting up your alchemy in general. You can use them to farm all kinds of ingredients. To get started with getting our second house, I'm gonna talk to the Jarl of Falkreath, who said he wanted some bandits taken out because he was no longer happy with the deal they struck. Crooked as they come, I like it. Oh, this chest piece is nice, extra armor, and it has a better heavy armor enchant on it as well. And I got a new helmet to go along with it. I look a little bit like a yellow RoboCop. We're gonna exit Falkreath now, and this place is linked to a few Daedric artifacts. If we run far enough down the road, we will meet this dog called Barbas.
You see, my name is Barbas, and I have a problem I think you can help sort out.
His master kicked him out till he could find someone to settle their disagreement, whatever that means. But here's the thing, I'm not quite ready for this quest yet, because there are 2 Daedric artifacts you can get from the quest, but I believe you need the slow time shout to get them both. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck with just one of the Daedric artifacts. I made it to this cave, Barbas went inside. I'm not going in yet, but now it's marked on the map for us. I also have 2 skill points I want to spend. I will take one into one-handed and the other into heavy armor. And now we should be much more equipped to take on that stupid wizard. We're gonna head back down the hill to take out those bandits the Jarl of Falkreath wanted me to kill. These guys were a bit of a joke. Some bandits you are. They were going down very, very easy. Oh, I got a new pair of orc boots for me and a orc chest plate for my friend. Now, before we return to that Jarl, I want to go try to kill that wizard again by Solitude. In we go, and yeah, we are mowing these suckers down. Put some paralysis poison on my mace to keep him down and just wailed on him. Well, like I said, after he is dead, we are not done. A powerful shade pops out of him. No match for the orc bros, though. Down goes the Defiler. You know, all of this time playing this game over the years, I never knew you could get 2 Dawnbreakers until you guys told me. Yeah, there is one on the floor right there, and there is one on the pedestal as well. After taking them, Meridia beams me up into the sky again to tell me to purge corruption in her name with the Dawnbreaker. She dropped me down to the floor. There is our first Daedric artifact. It's called Dawnbreaker. Pretty nice sword to display. I don't think I'm gonna be using it though. Gonna start taking some points into stamina now since we have our health up a fair bit. Ran over to Solitude while I was close by to train my speech to level 50. This is good because now we can unlock the merchant skill in the speech tree, which allows us to trade any item to any merchant. Before, for example, the blacksmith would only buy our weapons and armor and other bits and bobs like that. But now I can sell them my expensive potions. We are about to get rich. Now to return to the Jarl of Falkreath to tell him I had killed those bandits he wanted killed. Nice, nice. Gave me 1,000 coin and the option to buy property in the Falkreath hold. I talked to his steward about it and paid the 5,000 coin for the land. Now to just head up the hill to go have a look. And here we are. It doesn't look like much. We have to build the place up. I've been here for about 2 seconds and I'm already getting attacked by the wildlife. It's easy to build up the houses in Skyrim. You just gotta have the resources, and it's all done at these workstations. Gotta pick what you want, and as long as you have the materials, the house gets built how you want. I do need to run down the road to the lumber mill to buy logs off this vampire. Yeah, you're not fooling anyone, lady with those eyes. Just give me the wood and I will get out. Between building the new house up, I did return to our main home to drop off some of the collectibles we had gotten. A lot of collectibles have its own place in this house. There is the Dawnbreaker weapon rack. I will put the spare in this safe in the bedroom. Put all of the books away I'd been collecting. Put my scrolls away too in this box. Gems go away. Oh, and the golden claw also has a spot as well as all of the other claws in the game. It says I stole it. I didn't, I promise. Now we have to decide what potion ingredients I want to grow at the new house. I'll be keeping everything in this main house, like my potion ingredients, but I'll be running to the new house every so often to gather up what's grown. Spent most of day 16 working on the new house. I'm not gonna fully furnish it right this second, but I'd love to be able to do that to this house and the other houses you can build someday, just to say that I've done all of it in this save. Okay, I think it's done for now. Outside is looking good. Inside is missing a lot of stuff you can build. Back here is looking very empty, but the greenhouse is mostly done and has plants growing in the dirt. We have an alchemy station inside, which is nice. Picked an armory in case we need more room to be able to display things, you know, in case my main house runs out of space. And I picked a storage room at the back. It's totally empty for now, but again, I'd love to fully decorate it one day. So there is all of the ingredients growing in the house. Now let's head to Dawnstar once again. See, I had a letter from a mailman about a museum in Dawnstar, and the reason why we are here is because this is how we get our second Daedric artifact called Mehrunes Razor. Here is the museum. That is Silas. He's a Mehrunes Dagon follower. I believe he wants Dagon's dagger repaired. But parts of it are scattered around Skyrim though, so we better get to collecting them. First one is around here on the map, so we better get back to walking. It wasn't long before I made it, and I'm wet already. So this guy has the piece. There are a few ways to get the piece, but the way I'm gonna do it is to pick into his house and steal it. There we go, door is open and we are in. It's inside this chest that is locked again. I'm a tank that's trying to sneak about right now, so we have to be quick before someone comes back. In and out, easy. Next stop is the hardest. Look at this view. Every so often, this game likes to remind me how beautiful it can be. There's a lot of Forsworn here. These guys are pretty weird. I powered my way through. It's early morning day 19, and that Hagraven is holding the piece of the dagger I need. See, the Hagraven wasn't too hard, but the stupid fire coming from those crystals suck. Trying to avoid the fire while also trying to kill her was very, very awkward. Get it? Awkward? Because I'm an orc. Down she goes. Stupid fire. Disable that crap. Could use the soul gems for enchanting anyways, so I will take them. But there is the piece of the Daedric artifact we need. 2 down, 1 to go. There is also a word of power on the wall too. Want to collect as many of these as possible as well. It's not far from Falkreath, just down the road here. These guys are a joke too. My orc friend was chasing off that bandit for real while I ran in and took out the bandits outside. They were cowering just before my mace struck them down. We are taking no prisoners today. It was a tougher one inside, but still not really a match for what we've got going on. Lots of books to grab inside, and there is the final piece. Lots of traps in the way, but I've got it. Now, to return to Silas. So far, we have one Daedric artifact. That is the Dawnbreaker sword, and today is the big day we get our second child. Yeah, I got distracted and adopted another child. Has no home and just lingers around Dawnstar. I couldn't say no. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, our second Daedric artifact. I returned to Silas and holy crap, that is a lot of coin he just gave me. Too bad I'm taking the dagger too. Had to follow him to Dagon's shrine for Dagon himself to repair the dagger. These Daedric artifacts all belong to Daedric princes who will crown you their champion for doing what they want in return for the artifact being wielded in their name. Much like Dawnbreaker being used in Meridia's name, this dagger will be used in Dagon's name once we get it according to him. Little does he know, I'm gonna put it up for display and never use it even once. There is Dagon's shrine up on the hill. Went on up and met Silas before putting the pieces on the table and speaking to Dagon himself.
You are worthy of speaking to. You have claimed the pieces of my razor.
Said to kill Silas and become his champion, or he will crush me. I don't know about you, but I think I could take this stone muppet. I don't have the option though, so I'm sorry, Silas, but you gotta go. Talked to Dagon once again, and he repaired the dagger, and then spawned in some stupid Dramoras for one final challenge. They weren't too bad to deal with. After that, we could go inside this place too, and there was even more of them, who were even easier than the ones outside. They all had Daedra hearts that we could use later to make Daedric armor, so I will happily take them out. But there we go. There is Mehrunes' razor. It has a very rare chance of instantly killing enemies. This idiot turned up at my house demanding some kind of Harry Potter magic duel, and then seemed pretty upset that it was a 2-on-1 and I was using my mace. I don't play fair, you sucker. Now get off my mountain. Anyways, I came back home to display my dagger. I also put Silas's mythic Dawn outfit on one of these mannequins, but there is my second Daedric artifact. There's no place for it on the wall, so I just put it in a display case. From second Daedric artifact to my second house. I ran back to my second house to gather up my potion ingredients that grew outside and inside. I will say I'm not 100% happy with the things I'm growing, but we do have ingredients for things like smithing potions, heavy armor potions, one-handed potions, paralysis poisons, and some good money-making potions. We're gonna be rolling in it now and ready for almost any situation, hopefully. So the way you get OP in Skyrim is by working on 3 different crafting skills. One is smithing, one is enchanting, and the other is alchemy. After you get your enchanting up, you can then make alchemy crafting gear to make potions to help out with your smithing to make OP weapons and armor. So a big thing people like to do in this game is to just grind out those 3 skills and then make a bunch of really good gear. And that is what we're going to be doing in this playthrough here. Since we're a warrior, I feel like it's going to be pretty important to work on smithing. And working on alchemy and enchanting at the same time will make this playthrough all the easier. And seriously, it's one of my favorite things to do in Skyrim is just to chill out and work on those skills. The other important thing I did on day 21 was I got this nice chest plate. It has a better heavy armor enchant and even more defense in general than my last one. It's nicer all around and I don't look like yellow RoboCop anymore. We are about to get to the third Daedric artifact, but first I'm gonna give Balamund here all of my coin for smithing training and then sell him stuff to get all of my coin back. Okay, so the next artifact is near Riften, which is why I came here. It's at another orc camp. This one is a 2-handed warhammer. Here is the orc camp. They're having giant troubles. After helping take it down, I found out they're having more than just giant troubles and that there is something wrong with their chief. We're gonna do a ritual to talk to Malakath, another prince that these guys are loyal to. But I need troll fat and a Daedra heart, which I have, but I didn't know I needed, so I didn't bring them with me. Guess we are going home really quick to get that heart and troll fat. Nice, nice. And we are back at the orc camp with the stuff. Now the problem this orc camp was having is the chief suffers from a huge case of the chicken shit. Yeah, we did the ritual and Malakath himself said so.
You don't deserve to call yourself an orc. You're weak, you're small, and you're an embarrassment.
And that now he needs to go kill a giant to prove himself. He asked for my help. I said I would come along with him. Followed him around in the wilderness for a bit until we made it to this cave, which was beautiful inside. There is a lot of giants we will pass in. My follower upset this one, so I guess we are taking it down. Ended up using a paralysis potion to knock it down temporarily. Easy work and good practice. Because this Muppet is about to fight his own giant and ends up just getting one-tapped. Now, we gotta take down that giant. Did poison up my mace with some more paralysis. And down he goes. Easy stuff. Giants aren't too much of a problem for us these days. Malakath started to talk to me while I took this old chief's hammer. He said to take it back to the orc camp and we'll see about whipping some of those orcs back into shape. And I did. We're back. Malakath talked about the old chief being a bit... Told me to put the hammer on here. And there we go. He turned it into a Daedric hammer because I'd proven worthy. It's called Volendrung. Don't know if I'm saying that right. It absorbs 50 points of stamina per hit. It is a two-handed weapon, so I doubt I will be using it, but still pretty cool. That makes Daedric artifact number 3. Alright, but we are not done in this camp yet. I sent my follower home because you can only have one at a time. And we're gonna take one of these orcs as my new companion. Most of them here will follow you around now. And we are gonna need a sacrifice, so you will do just fine. We are heading to Boethiah's shrine to get the 4th artifact. Now you have to be level 30 for this one, and I just passed into level 31, so we should be good. Got a bit of a walk to get to the shrine. I made it. There is the shrine. I talked to a cultist who told me to get a sacrifice for Boethiah. You didn't hear any of that, did you? No? Good. Now get on that post and die. Boethiah took his body as her own and said she wanted us all to fight. Whoever is left will have a special task. I let them all fight between themselves and then just picked off the leftovers. Boethiah then told me that she is not happy with her current champion and to go kill him. But he is all the way over in Knife Point Ridge. It says I should sneakily kill them. That's not good. It's the same place we killed the bandits for that Jarl of Falkreath to get the plot of land way back. I guess the enemies inside all respawned. Let's go to our potion farm while we're passing by. Did that mailman just go into my house? Yeah, and now he's cowering inside on the floor.
Must be my imagination.
What just happened? Anyway, gathering these suckers. Oh, this is what he was cowering for. There's some bandits. I'm just gonna run off. They'll leave. There's nothing really at their house except plants they can steal anyway. Next stop, I want my friend Gorbash back. I think that's how you say his name. Did some heavy armor training while I was here. This is getting kind of expensive now. Higher the level you get, the more expensive that gets. But that's fine. I have a load of potions to sell. Playing as an orc, I love this place. Speaking of places I love, I returned on home to put this hammer up on display. Now let's finally go kill Boethiah's champion. Like I said, I've already cleared this area out, but I guess there are new bandits here now. And somehow I was managing to get some sneak attacks in on these bandits. Don't ask why they can't detect me. Normally people see me coming from the other side of the map with this build. Cleared the outside, now let's head on in and kill this champion. For some reason the bandits were fighting inside, so that made things easier. Again, I just picked off the leftovers. We're gonna put this guy on the table. The table is totally a step you need to follow, by the way. Now we can take the ebony mail, which is another Daedric artifact. Boethiah starts talking to me and says I can keep it. I was going to, anyway. It's a pretty interesting chest plate. It makes me move much more quietly and also does 5 points of poison damage per second to enemies that are nearby. We have done some bad things so far in this playthrough, so we might as well keep the ball rolling in Markov. There are 2 more artifacts you can get here. The first one is the Mace of Molag Bal. We are stopped by this guy outside a house who gives us a quest called House of Horrors. He says something is in here and things start to get weird. Then I hear a voice telling me to kill the guy I came in here with. So I followed blindly and did just that. Now the voice is saying to go deeper into the house, and I eventually found the Mace of Molag Bal on a pedestal. But I got trapped in a cage. It was the Daedric Prince himself, Molag Bal, talking to me. We talked about how the mace is dry and rusted, and that his rival Boethiah, who he just got the ebony armor from, had her priest desecrate the mace, and now he wants revenge. But you see, the priest that did it got himself trapped, and Molag Bal wants me to bring bring him here. He let me out to do just that. He was trapped at a place that was riddled with these forsworn weirdos. Get your butt out of here. Stormed my way past all of them till I made it to this guy, the priest Moloch Ball was talking about rescuing. Now that he's been rescued, he is off to that abandoned house the mace of Moloch Ball was at. And you know what? So am I. Let's head on in and go deep down into the house where the mace was. Moloch Ball trapped him and told me to beat him down with a rusty mace. After doing that for a bit, he agreed to serve Moloch Ball, and I was told to strike him down. After that, the mace's true power was given to me, and now Moloch Ball left me alone with my new weapon. If you're curious what it does 25 points of stamina damage, 25 points of magicka damage, and if the target dies within 3 seconds, it fills a soul gem. So yes, it is a guaranteed soul trap weapon, but I would prefer not to get this and break it down to add the enchantment to a different weapon, you know? Which is why I went to get that battle axe earlier on instead. We could have just used this to fill up soul gems, but I bet my elven mace that I enchanted runs out of charges way less than this thing. We are not done in Markov. Like I said, there is 2 Daedric artifacts we can get from here. The next one is gonna require me to get inside the Hall of the Dead. But I'm gonna go around the front to talk to this guy. He said they discovered that some of the dead inside had been eaten. Told him I'd help sort it out and went in. Heard a voice talking to me, and it turned out to be this lady. And she seems to think I am like her. I went to tell this guy that the Hall of the Dead is in fact safe, and we are off to get Namira's ring. That lady told me to meet her at a cave that's been overrun by Droga, and that we can fight our way through together to Namira's embrace. Namira is the Lady of Decay, and this quest is very questionable. There's a lot of questionable quests, but this one is one of my least favorites to think about. So like I mentioned, the Mace of Moloch Ball is a soul trap weapon. I feel like I should explain why I didn't go to get this way back when I was searching for one of these things, because to add the soul trap enchantment to a different weapon, you have to destroy a weapon that already had soul trap on it. And obviously I don't want to destroy the Mace of Moloch Ball. If you can even do that, I'm not even sure. And yeah, I guess we could have used the Mace of Moloch Ball itself to trap souls, but this thing will have to be charged a whole lot more often than my other mace I've been using. Because when you're enchanting, you can pick the intensity of the enchantment. And the lower that intensity is, the less you will have to charge your weapon using soul gems. Because after a while, enchanted weapons will have to be charged again. And with a soul trap enchantment, honestly, I think it's best just to have as low of an intensity as you can. It's always worked out fine doing it that way for me. I'm gonna use the Mace of Moloch Ball until it runs out of juice though. Anyway, there is the weird cannibal lady. I gotta say, the Droger inside were tough as nails. I even whipped out the orcs once a day racial power to help me out. I put a point into one-handed, and there is trouble behind this door. The hardest enemy is this final guy. Kinda kept him on me while my orc friend shot at him with a bow, and the lady sometimes got up to help before getting knocked down herself. Finally, I worked him down enough to take him out. Now that we've reclaimed this place, she tells me we need to prepare a feast. Great. A feast with a cannibal. And I am to get the main course. Who is this guy? It's that guy that was standing outside of the Hall of the Dead, originally asking me for help. I told him I needed his help. He resisted. I tried both to persuade him and also to threaten him, but he was having none of it. He did, however, accept some coin. Now, he doesn't know that he's dinner yet. He thinks he's coming to help me with something. Don't ask how, but we got him to sleep on this table.
The meal is on Namira's table. Go ahead, carve.
Now I got, this is nasty. So I took a bite and Namira started talking to me, calling me her new champion.
I am Namira, the Lady of Decay.
There are lots of people sat around the room. Wait, this lady owns a store in Markov. Okay, I'm gonna trash the table and get on out of here. I was gifted this ring for becoming her champion, which is another Daedric artifact. This one gives me stamina increased by 50 points, and feeding on corpses grants me increased health and health regeneration. Took a trip back home, and so far we have the Mace of Moloch Ball, we have the Dawnbreak Dawnbreaker, we have the two-handed Volendrung, the Ebony Mail, and the Ring of Namira. And lastly, Mehrunes Razor. So that is six Daedric artifacts. I also placed the robes of that dude we just ate on this mannequin. More grinding to do now. We have to work on smithing, alchemy, and enchanting to stand any chance of getting some real good gear. Planned on spending the rest of the day running between towns, buying crafting materials, and grinding out levels for those free specific skills. Alright, now that we've done some more grinding towards maxing out those skills, let's go get another artifact. This one, we will have to go right around here on the map just by Winterhold. But we will travel to Winterhold and go from there. This time, we're looking to become Azura's champion and get the Black Star. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to do this quest yet. Most of it should be easy, but it's the final part that might be rough, so we'll have to see how it goes. First off, we had to get to the Shrine of Azura and talk to one of Azura's followers. She said Azura had seen my coming and that I was chosen to become her champion. I had to find a place where there was an elven mage that could turn the brightest star as black as the night. And I had to go back to Winterhold again to check out the inn because there was a mage who might have info on the topic. I found the mage. Now let's try and threaten him. Nice. He caved pretty quick and told me about a star-shaped soul gem, which doesn't get consumed when used for enchanting and can have multiple souls pass through it. This is the Daedric artifact we need. Looks like the location of the star is not far from my potion farming house. Check on my plants. Nope, not grown back yet. We have to take a swim across this water. We can call this my first bath I've had in the last 31 days. Made it to this half-ruined, half-underwater structure. And if we go down this hatch, we can get in. Now, I thought this place would be a cakewalk. I was bumping into skeletons, and these guys just kind of crumble to the ground the second you touch them. However, that was not the case. There was an ice mage with that stupid ice spell that was giving me trouble earlier. And I died. And again. And again. And again. I got it taken care of in the end. I got her trapped and spammed heavy attacks to keep her off balance. But it is not over yet. Yep, now there is a master mage with that spell. I think this is the last area in this place. We are so close, yet so far at the same time. I was able to run at him and paralyze him with poison on my maze and took him down like that. And there is the star. It's not complete yet, but there it is. Skeleton sat there too. We'll have to remember that name because now we can choose to either return to the Shrine of Azura to talk to Azura's follower we met and eventually get Azura's star, or we can talk to the wizard at the inn in Winterhold we met and turn it into the Black Star. The Black Star, I would say, is better. I believe it can hold every kind of soul because of a bug. It might be something I'm missing there, but unless you're doing some kind of roleplay situation, I think the Black Star is the best choice for me. We are gonna go to Winterhold to talk to that mage at the inn. And this is where things get extremely rough. See, I thought getting the Dawnbreaker way back was tough, but this is next level. Because there is a soul, the soul of that skeleton that was sat on the chair, hanging out inside this star. And for us to be able to use it, we're gonna have to transfer our soul into the star to clear out his soul. And then have the wizard pull our soul back out of the star. And well, it was very, very rough. There's a load of Dremora inside, and they got a bunch of ranged attacks that just one-hit me. And I'm all alone, which makes it even more difficult. I can't have my follower take a bunch of hits, so I left. Once again, I backed out and we're gonna go get a bit more prepared for that quest. We are back to the grind. I've been on and off grinding out those free crafting skills throughout the playthrough so far. But this was the biggest push I had done. I'm gonna be spending a lot of days powering through these skills now. First, I will take the final level into Enchanter. I'll also take Insightful Enchanter. And I'm also gonna push on up to get Corpus Enchanter as well. All of these these skills it just took will significantly increase my enchanting skill. Then we're gonna pop on over to the Smithin skill tree and take Orcish Smithin. I'm just gonna work my way around to Daedric Smithin on this one. And then lastly, we're gonna take the 4th level of Alchemist. We're gonna be working on getting all 3 of those skills maxed out. And I spent the rest of the day grinding out those skills. Same goes for day 33. I was smithing dwarven bows and golden rings mostly. Then iron daggers just to use up the iron I had left from buying ingots from blacksmiths. Then traveled on feet between towns to collect souls for enchanting and gathered ingredients along the way for alchemy. Obviously, I was hitting home for grown ingredients too. It just kept going for a while. This is honestly my favorite part of this game, is the business and grinding these skills. Still going. Day 36 and I'm still going. Once we're more geared up after this and prepared, we can hopefully storm through collecting stuff. Just have to get the groundwork built on our character, you know? Was giving beggars a coin when I passed to get the charity bonus too. Getting rich, selling potions, and enchanted gear. We are so close. I got my smithing to level 89 on day 37. I need that at level 90 for Daedric gear. And there is enchanting to level 99. I need that at level 100 to add 2 enchantments to my gear instead of just the one. Today is the day 38, hanging out in Whiterun when my smithing hit level 90. So let's take our Daedric smithing perk to be able to craft Daedric armor and weapons. Now some enchanting, and we have level 100 enchanting. Nice. Now we can take our extra effect perk in the enchanting skill line to be able to enchant our weapons and armor with 2 enchants. Just ran home to get my Daedra hearts and ebony ingots. Now we should be able to make our Daedric armor. Now it looks like Anniversary Edition added a Daedric plate armor. I don't think this was in the base game, right? I'm not sure. I've never seen it before. I'm gonna make it just because it's new. Well, new to me anyway, and it looks pretty cool. I'm actually wondering what the differences are besides the armor rating. We're also gonna make 2 of everything. 1 for me and 1 for my companion. Oh, and I'm gonna start dual wielding as well, so we'll take 2 swords. I can easily switch back and forth between my spells and my swords. Oh, this armor looks so cool with the red there. Got my dual wield swords too. Nice, nice. I sadly didn't have enough ebony to make weapons for my follower, so we're gonna have to run around and try to find some more. Luckily, I did find some in Dawnstar. What's funny though is I made my follower a bow and I made my follower 2 swords, but not one time did I catch him dual wielding, and not one time did I catch him using the Daedric bow. Throughout this playthrough, he just ends up using the hunting bow. That was a bit of a waste of time, but oh well. So the way this works, we take this enchanted potion to make Fortify Alchemy enchanted gear. 4 pieces to be exact. Now to go back home where all my potions are at, and without wearing the enchanted gear, we get plus 14% better enchanted potions. But with all 4 pieces of gear put on, we get 30% stronger potions. But yeah, we're just gonna drink that enchanted potion the way it is for now and make some Fortify smithing armor, and also make this 119% better armor upgrades while smithing potion. Now we need more ebony to upgrade the Daedric armor. Yep. It costs 1 ingot per item to upgrade. Went to Whiterun and I got 4 from this lady. Sadly, the rest of the town was dry though. Crap, nothing from the blacksmith in Riverwood either. The general trader there had a single ingot, so that's something. Now we have 5 total. I need 13. I'm sure there's a few places I can probably go to just get the ebony outright by stealing it, but I'm fine just checking these stores. Got the last few I needed in Windhelm from this high elf. Now I can put on my smithing gear, drink the smithing potion, and upgrade all of this weapons and armor with the ebony ingots at the smithing area. I did head on home to make sure I had enough enchanting potions. I'm a little all over the place trying to make sure I don't mess anything up. So the more of these, the better. I can take my time. Right, let's get my gear enchanted. I was gonna take better one-handed, heavy armor, stamina regen, magicka regen, and better magicka on all of the armor for me and my follower. I did a few at a time. I only had 30 seconds of potion potion to do it, so I did a few and then drank another potion as we went. After doing the armor, I noticed I wasn't gonna have enough grand soul gems now, which as long as I have enough for me, I guess we'll be fine. My follower can wait. Got a few more solitude off this vampire. Another one. You're not tricking anyone either, lady. And we are done. My follower is kitted out with Daedric weapons and armor, and this is what I've got. 2 Daedric swords that do 445 damage apiece, and are only slightly enchanted with fire and frost at 5 damage for both. Not much, but the more damage you make it do, the more often you'll have to recharge them, so I went light this time around. Armor, however, does not need to be recharged, and we have a grand total of 1,058 armor rating. Yeah, I found out there's an armor cap in this game, so I don't know if we're gonna need to be casting our alteration spells anymore. I'm gonna continue to do it just so we can pump up our alteration skill level. Then when it gets to level 100, we can make it a legendary skill and get those few perk points back that we spent on it. Now we look awesome with our full sets of matching gear. Now let's go get that Daedric artifact, the Black Star. Here we go. Something tells me this is still gonna be rough. Got my soul sent into the star, and let's go. I can confirm it was still a pain in the ass. I sadly died the first attempt. It was a little deflating after doing all of that work and ended up dying right away, but I didn't let it beat me. All we have to do is kill the main guy. All of these fire Dremora around, we don't have to kill those. Holy crap. So if I can kill this guy and then manage to avoid all of the hits from the Tremora before I get pulled back out of the soul, we should be good, and that worked just fine. Nice, now the Black Star can be used once again, and we have our 7th Daedric artifact. The Black Star is a soul gem that does not get consumed for enchanting. So if you use the regular old grand soul gem to enchant, after using it up, it gets consumed. The Black Star, however, can have multiple souls pass through it. It will never get destroyed. So it is a very OP Daedric artifact. A very, very cool one to have. Now that we've got those armor and weapon upgrades, we're going to be moving quickly now. I am off to Falkreath to get the next 2 Daedric artifacts. We're going to be getting the Savior's Hide and the Ring of Hircine. To start the quest, we have to go to this graveyard where a funeral is being held. This man's daughter had been taken out by a werewolf. You can find the wolf in the Falkreath prison, so let's go have a chat. Talking to him sounds like he got a cursed ring off the Daedric prince Hircine, and the ring makes who wears it randomly turn into a werewolf, and he said it made him lose control and that he didn't mean to do what he did. He wanted to give the ring back to Hircine, but said he couldn't in the position he's currently in. So he gave me the ring so that I could do it. And as I was about to leave, he turned into a werewolf and escaped. That doesn't make much sense. Anyways, up the road from Falkreath, there is a beast we have to slay. After doing just that, we get to talk to Hircine himself and ask me to hunt and kill that guy that was in prison for him in his name. I passed my house on the way to finding the werewolf to gather my ingredients that grew. I spent a lot of coin on all of this gear I'm wearing, so we will need potions to sell. And there's a giant outside my house too. The jerk had no idea what hit him. Now, I was a triple agent here. I told Hircine I'd kill the werewolf, but I told the werewolf I'd not kill him, but actually, we are gonna kill him. That's because I want both Daedric artifacts you can get from this quest. If you help the werewolf kill these hunters that came for him and then leave, Hircine will let you go with his ring and forgive you. But then you can go back into the cave and kill the werewolf afterwards and also skin him to get Hircine to turn up and reward you for actually killing him. Now we have the Ring of Hircine and the Savior's Hide. The ring allows werewolves to have additional transformations, and the Savior's Hide gives increased magic resistance by 15% and increased poison resistance by 50%. And with that, my Daedric artifact collection is up to 9 pieces. Day 46, and we're gonna start a quest to get a Daedric artifact that is one of the longer ones ones to do. We're going to walk right past the College of Winterhold. In Winterhold itself, there is a man called Septimus Singus hanging out at a outpost down here somewhere. This is where you go when you are doing the main quest line to get the Elder Scroll too, but I think you can do all of this without doing the main quest, so we should be fine. He gives us some kind of lexicon that needs to be transcribed. Again, I say all of the time, this is one of my favorite places in the game. It's really pretty when you make it to Blackreach. I know a lot of people, I found out, don't actually like Blackreach, mostly because there's a weird Crimson Root quest that I never do. There's lots of dwarven machines inside, which is nice because they are pretty easy to kill now, and all of them drop soul gems for enchanting or recharging my weapons. Also ended up putting points into the dual wield inside of the one-handed skill tree. Now we do our dual wield attacks 20% faster than before, which we can try against this formidable foe named the Dwarven Centurion. Went down before he could do any damage to me at all. It's also nice coming here because there is another unique item we can collect up ahead. There's two people arguing, and if we take them out, the man doesn't have anything fun, but the lady has this shield. I'm not gonna use it since we're not using shields, but I will take it to display in my house. Going deeper into this place, we make it to Blackreach. There are a lot of Falmer inside. This one had some heavy gear I wanted to keep as a trophy to place in my house too. I ran through here pretty quick, did get the Crimson Nirnroot quest, but I'm not doing it. Take out this other Dwarven Centurion, one of my favorite enemies in the game. I'm feeling pretty tough right now, but it's weird because as much damage as I do, I still feel like I'm pretty easy to kill. Getting past the Blackreach, I made it to this room, which is the room we need to go to transcribe the lexicon. All we gotta do is put it right here and push these buttons a bunch of times until the machine reveals the Elder Scroll. That I'm gonna leave right there for now. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. I will be back if we do story stuff, but I heard sometimes saves can glitch out if you take it or something. I don't know. I've never experienced that in the past, but reading on Reddit, I figured I would leave it for now. We'll just come back and get it when we do the main quest line. We're gonna take the lexicon back to return to Septimus. Now back at Septimus's outpost, gave him the lexicon, and now he says we need the blood from all the different kinds of elves, and gave me something to extract that blood. Yeah, so we'll do this one just as we're going about our business, doing other quests. Eventually, we will find every kind of elf and we will harvest every kind of blood, but I'm not gonna focus on it, you know? I tried to leave, but was met by Hameus Mora, slapping me with his tentacles. This is the Daedric Prince of Knowledge. He kinda sucks. He says that Septimus has nearly become obsolete to him and his time is nearing its end. He wants me to take his place when the time comes, and he poofed. I am selling my soul left and right in this video. Anyways, we are off to Whiterun for the next artifact. I want to check the inn for someone called Sam. Yeah, none of you guys look like a Sam to me. That's fine, we'll find him later. We still need to be in Whiterun anyway. I have still not killed that first dragon at the watchtower outside Whiterun for the main story yet. I did it on purpose because the dragons won't really spawn around the world to attack you until you kill this first dragon, which made my collecting stuff easier. But now this dragon and other dragons should be easier to deal with. So I ran down here, and here comes the dragon coming back for round 2 at the watchtower. I killed this dragon in 4 hits. Yeah, I even had to double check. I was still on legendary difficulty because I was getting worried after that. Now we consume the soul to find out we are dragonborn. This is another thing I'm gonna collect, is every single dragon bone and dragon scale I see. Now returning to the Jarl for that quest. He wants me to go to the Greybeards about the whole dragonborn thing, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to yet, anyway. I will later. The reason I did that dragon quest now is because we can now go to the innkeeper in the town to get a quest that will get us the 10th Daedric artifact. Some Daedric artifacts have prerequisitions like a level you have to hit or a quest you have to do. This one I had to complete that dragon quest to start. Asked the innkeeper about rumors a bunch, and eventually we will get this miscellaneous quest to ask the Jarl about his weird kid issue. So I went into Dragonreach to do just that and found him asleep. There was a gem right there. I might collect all of those, so I will take it. Better wake his butt up. He says his kid is mad at him and just always angry in general, and wants me to try to draw out the truth. Waking everyone up today. The kid is asleep as well.
So, the disgusting pig sent you to bother me. One day, I'll tear his face apart so he can leave me alone.
Said he had been listening to a door in the basement. A weirdo. I too am a weirdo and went to talk to that door. We are talking to the divine mistress, Mifala.
I've been waiting for someone more fit to carry out my will.
Been talking to and about a lot of Daedric princes, like Molag Bal, for example, in this video, and I've not really explained them very much. I'm gonna continue not to, just because the video is gonna be very, very long. If you want to know more about the lore, these people I'm talking to, then there's loads of really good videos online. I suggest looking them up. Says she wants me to open the door, and to do that, I had to... What are you doing?
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Yeah, I'd not let you use a sword either. Actually, I better hide you under this bowl forever. The other kid said Farengar had a key to that whispering door, so I went ahead and pickpocketed him when he was sleeping. Now if we open up the door, we can see the ebony blade on this table, which is the 10th Daedric artifact we've collected. Mifala says to keep and use the blade in her name. My inventory is a menace right now. We better run back home to sort it out. We can put the ebony blade right there. We got the Taj of the Blooded Shield, Savior's Hide, and the Ring of Hircine looking mighty fine. I'm gonna keep the Black Star on me for now to use myself, just because it's really useful. I'd also like to point out I can make these insane potions of paralysis now that last for 25 seconds. Yeah, not sure when I'll need these, but I have them at the ready. Still pretty easy for me to die, so not a bad idea to keep on hand. Alright, stuff is put away. Now we are off to get the next Daedric artifact. Its quest is up here somewhere, not far from Markarth. Got a little bit of a walk to take in the dark. Bumped into some Forsworn up ahead, took them out nice and quickly. Oh, they committed the worst crime in all of Skyrim. They killed a chicken. People that haven't played Skyrim will think we are joking, but this is a mega crime scene. Better flee before the police turn up. Oh, I found this dead elf too. Harvested its blood. 1 down, 4 to go. Speaking of crime, I messed up. I read this book on the table to train my speech, and I took the book since I'm collecting books. Didn't realize I technically stole it right in front of this guy. And now I have a very small bounty. And the last save was a while ago, so we will be fine to play through it, I guess. Anyway, I got this quest from this guy to collect some ingredients to help us commune with another Daedric prince to get the next artifact. I think I have all of this stuff back home, but before we go back, I see there is a dragon marked on my compass down there. We are about to rip this guy a new one, or 2 new ones. It was tougher than the first dragon, still went down very, very easy. Gonna take its soul, take its bones, and the word of power from the wall. Now I can't fast travel or wait in the game because I have gods pursuing me. Yeah, remember when I said it would be fine and we'll just play through it? I didn't know that was a thing. I guess we better go back to Markarth to sort this out. Made it close to Markarth, but the gods seem to not care that I've committed a crime. Yeah, they do not want to arrest me.
Go fiddling with any locks around here, we're going to have a real problem.
Yes, I've been fiddling with locks. Cuff me, officer. I've been bad. Maybe the bounty is in Solitude? I'm not really sure. I did end up reloading a save in case my game was glitched. I retraced my steps and did all of that again. Now I'm back home to grab those things I need. We need 1 vampire dust, 1 death bell flower, 1 flawless ruby, and 1 silver ingot. Nice. Now to return to the Khajiit and have him mix something up for us. There we go. Now to inhale these fumes and talk to Periite, another Daedric prince, who wants me to go kill a dude who was sent to gather afflicted and shepherd them to a dwarven ruin for him, but has since lost his way. Let's go do just that. The ruins are not too far from where we just were. And I will say, the place was a lot bigger than I was expecting. Had a bunch of afflicted inside, but they were real easy to kill. The deeper I went, the more I found. I will say that as easy as they are to kill, so am I. We just have to pick our shots nicely. This Centurion scared me. Coming around the corner all creepy looking. Gonna take out his kneecaps for that. There's the guy we were sent to kill. Again, let's pick our shots better. Run at him and down he goes. That was a pretty cool kill. Now we gotta return to get our reward, which is Spellbreaker. The only Daedric artifact that's a shield. It's a pretty cool shield, but I don't think I'll be using it since I'm not using shields in this playthrough. Gonna take it home and put it up for display. Next up is Dawnstar. We are rolling like crazy, getting these Daedric artifacts really quick now. I know we're not picking these quests in a very efficient manner. I could have planned a better route around the map and picked them up like that, but I'm just kinda winging it here and having fun. Had a talk with this dark elf at the inn in Dawnstar. He mentions how everyone around here are getting nightmares constantly, and that we should follow him to that tower on the hill to help sort out the nightmares. Now the hardest part about this quest is following this fool. He walks so insanely slow. Most of the quest is just walking up this hill. Finally made it to the tower, and I'm gonna be honest, I totally zoned out doing this quest. We were running around a library killing orcs that had been sleeping for ages and living through past events. I did harvest more elf blood as well as orc blood for Septimus though, and ended up making it to the Skull of Corruption and got into a fight with these guys. They were pretty easy to take out. I think they were friends with the Dark Elf. After taking them down, he went to destroy the staff, but I was being spoken to by another Daedra who wanted me to kill him and take the staff for myself. And I did. Not only am I selling my soul constantly today, but I'm betraying people left and right too. He seemed like a nice guy, but I needed the staff for my collection. It's a very interesting staff too. It does 20 points of damage and increases to 50 if powered with dreams collected from sleeping people. One of these days I'm gonna try to use this properly, but yeah, I'm not gonna use it in this playthrough. Earlier on, we visited the inn in Winterhold looking for a man named Sam who wasn't there. This time, we're gonna try our hand at finding him in Solitude in the Winkin Skeever. He spawns at any of the random inns scattered around Skyrim. First person I see when I walk in is Sam. This is how you get another Daedric artifact. This one is also a staff. We have to take part in a drinking contest with Sam. Ended up passing out while waking up somewhere else. I'm in Markarth, I think, by the looks of this building. And by the sounds of things, I might have married a goat. Yeah, I'm not joking. The lady told me something about Rorikstead, so let's head on over there. There is Rorikstead, off in the distance. I was stealing their wheat before getting stopped by this man. I think that goat I married belonged to him. So there are more objectives to this quest along the way to get into Sam, but you can skip them if your speech is high enough that you can either persuade them to tell you the info you need or to intimidate them. Managed to persuade this guy to not have to make me go get his goat back. And the info he gave me led me to a Solda in Whiterun, who lent me her ring to marry the goat. Persuaded her I needed to get to my wedding. I guess I'm not married yet. That's good. And I skipped getting the wedding ring back with the speech check, and she gave me the next location. Day 52, there's a stupid dragon. Dodge that like they were taxes. Come down to land, let's slice it up. Now to head to this old castle. Don't ask me why, I wasn't paying attention. I ran in quick because the locals were giving me trouble. Lots of mages outside and inside. I used a paralysis poison on this lady and then picked away at her. I think that was the final person. Now if we go up here, there is a portal that will open up. We can enter it and it will take us to where Sam is. See, Sam was actually a Daedric prince himself. He was trying to choose someone to give his staff, and he just so happened to have chosen me. Now we get sent back to where I met him, way over in Solitude in the Winkin Skeever. And I have the Sanguine Rose. That's Daedric artifact number 13. This one will summon a Dramora to fight with us for 60 full seconds. There is a lot of weird quests when going for these Daedric artifacts, and this next one might be the weirdest. I had to talk to this guy who talked about how his master had abandoned him. Says he's been on vacation for many years and wants my help to get him back. And he also gives me a hip bone, saying that I'm gonna need it. Says it's very important and I can't enter the Pelagius wing in the Blue Palace without it. It's weird, I know. I asked this person that works in the Blue Palace for a key instead. Now we can get through this door and into this place, which looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. And simply walking down here will teleport me to where Sheer Gorath is, the Prince of Madness. Told him I'd been been sent to retrieve him from his vacation. He said I could convince him to leave if I can use the Wobberjack to escape Pelagius's mind. The Wobberjack is an insanely unique weapon that just has a mind of its own. I'm not gonna tell you all that it can do, but running down here, we have to wake up this guy by spawning in a bunch of enemies. Not really sure what's going on, but I did it in the end. There's a total of 3 puzzles you have to do to escape. This next one, I had to make these 2 people the same size to bring balance. This one had a couple Atronorks that were fighting down there. I had to shoot at those people off at the back to do this one. And then returning to Sheogorath, he says he is done and will return to his duties. And also lets me keep the Wobberjack when he sends me back. Now we have the Spellbreaker shield, the Wobberjack that we just collected, the Skull of Corruption, and the Sanguine Rose. Nice. Still collecting every book I find, by the way. These are the things that's weighing me down the most. Now we've got some prep to do for the next few artifacts. We need to get the Slow Time Shout, which you can get one word for it around here somewhere on the map at a place called Hag's End. To get to Hag's End, we need to go through this place called Deepwood Redoubt. There are lots of Forsworn hanging out inside. Made it through to this cool looking place. And the Forsworn here were a lot tougher than the ones behind us. They're doing a lot of damage to me. I had to stop to heal up here. Gonna let them come to me and pick them off nicely. Now we head on into the Hag's End. There are witches and I'm dead. There are witches and hagravens inside, or rather one hagraven that keeps teleporting around. Eventually made it through, and there is the Slow Time Shout on the wall. Let's spend a dragon soul to unlock it, and like you would think, using it will slow down time briefly. This will come in very, very handy soon. Because you remember that dog we followed called Barbas way back? And I turned around at the cave because I wasn't ready to go in there yet. Well, now I'm ready and I have everything in place for this quest. So let's head on inside the cave where there is a lot of vampires inside to take out. I did catch up to Barbas fighting some bloodsuckers and gave him a hand. Now to talk to Clavicus Vile, another Daedric prince.
Much as I hate to say it, you're almost as powerful as I am right now. But that's just because half of my power resides in that mutt Barbas.
He wants me to get a powerful axe for him, and if I do that, he will grant me his mask. He told me where it was and that Barbas is coming along with me, which is fine. Day 55, I stumbled onto this word of power, which I took, but I had no idea I'd have to fight a dragon priest. This is my first dragon priest I found. I was oblivious to its bed right behind me. Something I wanted to collect, actually, during this playthrough was the dragon priest masks that they wear. And this is gonna be my first one. There we go. Started our mask collection already. Anyways, into this cave with Barbas. It's a short cave inside. Not much property for sale in here. There was 2 enemies total guarding the axe Clavicus sent us to get. It felt way too easy to obtain this axe, take out this last guy, and it's just sat on the table right there. Passing by the house, so I figured we would drop off this mask I got. It's cool that they all have a set place to be displayed, so you can go check them off one at a time and hang them in their respective home. Right, here we go. Back to the cave, so you can get 2 Daedric artifacts here. You're only supposed to get 1, but you can trick the game into giving you 2. That Slow Time Shout is gonna come in handy here. We're gonna create a save point right here in case we fail. Spoilers, we do fail. Then we jump on Clavicus's head, and yeah, the dog is ruining it by pushing me off. Okay, so we gotta jump on Clavicus's head and hit this dialogue option, and then jump off his head, slow time, and run out of the cave. Now we can fast travel from here to a potion factory. Enemies nearby? For sake. Okay, we're gonna reload the save and let's go see what's going on out there. Looks like there is a vampire causing trouble, of course. Always vampires. Okay, new save point and try again. Hit the dialogue option, jump off his head, slow time, run out of the cave. Open map to go to my potion brewing house. Slow time again while we run in, and I failed once again because I forgot to be holding the axe to put it into the weapon rack. I got there in the end, did all of that again while holding the axe, and bam, axe is secure in the weapon rack. Normally, he would take the axe off you and give you his mask, but this way, the axe stays on the rack, and I will get the mask as a reward. Now, I don't know if you have to skip time here, but this is how I've always done it, so I'm gonna stick with doing it the way I have been. I skipped some time, and bam, quest gets complete, and I get the mask. And the axe is still there on the rack. They're pretty cool items to have. The mask makes prices 20% better, and you get plus 10 speechcraft, as well as magicka regenerates 5% faster. And the axe does 20 points of stamina damage. Alright, we have one kind of blood left to collect for Septimus. That is the blood of the Falmer. I went all the way back to Blackreach. I know we killed a lot of enemies in here, but it's big and I 100% missed some Falmer. So we can easily pick up the blood from this place. There we go. Now we can finally, after all of this time, go back to Septimus to give him the blood to make the mixture to open this trippy looking box. Made me feel a little bit sick watching that open. Now head inside and have him turn into dust. Nice, nice. All going according to plan. He couldn't handle the book, and now we can take it. Called Ogma Infinium, which is another Daedric artifact. When I tried to leave, I was met by Harmeus Mora, who calls me his champion. I couldn't care less. I just wanted the book. Let me try and explain the book. So you can read it, and once you read it, it gets consumed. We are not gonna read it, because I want to keep the book for my collection. But when you read it, like I said, it gets consumed, and you can pick between 3 different lines. The warrior line, the mage line, and the thief's line. Picking one of those will give a extra level to every single skill in those lines. So if I pick mage, my destruction will go up, my alteration will go up, my illusion will go up, and so on. But we lose the book, so I'm not gonna do that. There is one last Daedric artifact to get, and that is the skeleton key. This is an achievement you can get in Skyrim to get 15 Daedric artifacts, and this Daedric artifact doesn't count towards that achievement. But I still want to go get it. And to get it, we have to go to Riften to do the Thieves Guild quest, and basically do the whole thing. Almost right at the end of the Thieves Guild quest line, you get the skeleton key, which acts as a lockpick that will not break. It's very OP. But here's the thing, I'm really not cut out for the Thieves Guild. I am dressed in Daedric armor, not a single point into sneak. I'm gonna look very, very out of place, but we can still do the quest line pretty easy with this build, because it doesn't actually require a whole lot of sneaking around. It just, like, encourages it, I guess. And here's another thing, I didn't really want to focus too much on storyline things, you know? Like, we'll do them if we need to do them, like we're doing it right now, but I didn't want to focus on it too much, because this is a collector playthrough. I want to instead focus on collecting things instead of explaining the storylines. So we are gonna speed up a little bit, going through this quest line. Made it to the Ragged Flagon, and to prove myself to Brynjolf, he gave me a test to go rough up 3 people around Riften who owe the Thieves Guild money. Another thing I didn't know until you guys told me was there's different ways to go about doing this quest other than just fighting the people. See, there's 3 people you have to go and rough up, and each of them you can have a fist fight with. If you win, they will hand over the coin, but yeah, you can do things like stealing this statue, and then she will give you the coin because she wants it back. Now off to the general store, and you can break this pot, and he will just hand over the money. And I forget what you gotta do with the Argonian, but she just gave me the money right away anyway. Now back to a happy Brynjolf. He gives me another quest about the Golden Glow Estate, who has a mystery buyer, and the Thieves Guild are not happy about it. Oh, I also got my free set of Thieves Guild armor. It looks pretty cool, but not really my style in this playthrough. I'm gonna put it up for display in my house. Now let's go sort out this Golden Glow Estate issue. So I stormed through the front door, cleared out a safe downstairs, burned 3 beehives, made me feel really bad. Told Brynjolf the job is done. I've jumped back 20 years. What is going on in Whiterun right now? Oh wait, it's fine. It's Skyrim's new 8-bit edition. See, I told you guys, had loads of ideas for Todd. My next job is to screw over someone that owns a meadery over by Whiterun. This friend of the Thieves Guild says that the guy that owns the meadery meadery has a rat problem and that I should go help him out. And I did, definitely a rat problem going on here. Told him I'd help and went down into the basement to clear out the rats. Put the rat poison in the nest, and he also has a taste test coming up, and we're supposed to be screwing him over, so let's dip some rat poison in this. As you can imagine, the taste test did not go well. He wasn't very happy about the rat poison. He left the friend of the Thieves Guild in charge of the meadery, which is what we wanted. Now to run upstairs and get some papers for the Thieves Guild in this desk and steal all the books this place has to offer. Now quickly back to Riften to talk to Maven Blackbriar, who was the person that gave me this quest. For completing the job, she gave me a dagger. I don't need a dagger. Maven, I need cold, hard coin. Now Brynjolf seems to think that Mercer is mad about someone driving a wedge between Maven and the guild. Mercer brings up someone called Golemai in Solitude. We're gonna go have a word with this Golemai, but first off, I want to talk about Delvin. You can find some things scattered around Skyrim, like this thing right here. You can take it to Delvin, and Delvin will give you some money for it, and then it will get displayed in the guild over here. There is so many things you can collect in Skyrim, like these items, and I'm trying not to overwhelm myself in this video. I picked a good few things I want to collect, but I don't want to do too many things all at the same time, you know? If this video does well, I might come back to the same save and do another 100 days collecting more stuff. Speaking of collecting stuff, I am back home to drop off the Rueful Axe. For some reason, the ebony blade keeps falling off its weapon rack. Put that back up there. There is the mask we got from Clavicus Vial, too. I'm gonna hang up my Thieves Guild armor to display. I also got a bee in a jar I found in the Golden Glow estate. Oh, and I'm gonna keep any items that have a unique name as well in this safe. Book collection is going mad right now. So many books. Another thing that could be cool to collect is skill trees with legendary statuses. When you get a skill to level 100, you can make it legendary, which resets it and gives you all of the skills back to respend. And we get this little marker under the skill when it hits legendary. It's really easy to push on alchemy. It's a good way to level farm. After a minute or two of it being a legendary skill, I already got it up past level 60. Anyway, first legendary skill aside, day 63, and I am back in Solitude to find Golemai, who is hanging out inside the Winkin Skiva. I confronted him. There was someone who purchased the Golden Glow estate, and we need to find out who. He wouldn't give me any info until I stole some wine for him from the Blue Palace. Easy enough. Cool, cool. He still didn't want to give me any info I needed, though. So we're gonna have to follow his butt and see where he goes. And I did. He has no idea I'm here.
Why are you following me? I told you I don't know anything else.
I'm not. I'm catching these butterflies. Get over yourself. He has no idea I'm following him. Tailed him down to the docks and caught him going into this building. I stormed my way through this place and ended up confronting Golemai.
No, please. It's Carlia. Her name is Carlia.
Now to tell Mercer about Carlia being the troublemaker. Based on what Golemai said, Mercer seems to know where Carlia is hanging out and wants us to go sort her out. And now we have to head up just behind Windhelm to find her. Day 65 was a busy, busy day. Caught up to Mercer at the ruins where he thinks Carlia is hanging out. Ran on through fighting lots and lots of Droga. Even got this guy stuck in a door. I bet he regrets getting out of bed this morning. Finally caught up to where Carlia was, and I get shot. I hear a conversation between Carlia and Mercer, where Mercer was the person who killed a former member of the Thieves Guild called Gallus and blamed it on Carlia. He then comes over to me and pokes me in the face. Surprise, I'm alive. Carlia had shot me with a dart that slowed my heart rate and saved me. Heading off to Winterhold next to talk to this guy and give him Gallus's journal. I had to give him Gallus's journal, but it was wrote in a language he couldn't understand. It was the Falmer language, and we can't figure out what it says. But there is a wizard in Markov named Calselmo that might be able to help. Thing is, he is all the way on the other side of Skyrim. So on my way, why not be efficient for once and hit up some dragon priests and get their masks along the way? I believe there is one around here-ish on the map. map. Not sure how accurate that is, but let's go see. I was close, not perfect, but I can see where it's at from my marker. It's got an elder dragon god in it, which nearly killed me, but I managed to heal just in time. I got my revenge as soon as it landed with some dual wielding action. Now to just go kill the dragon priest, which almost nearly got me first, but again, health potions coming in clutch. See, potions are safer in near-death moments like that one. As much as I have healing spells, they're a little bit slower to cast. So I use the healing spells when I can afford to, but a lot of the time when I'm close to death, healing potions are the go-to for me. There we go, mask number 2. And there is also 3 words of power on this wall. Nice. Next one is closer to Markov, right around here. It's behind the house that we have, so we might as well stop by to empty our pockets. Get our second mask on display. Still lots to go. Moving right along to the next Dragon Priest mask is in this place right here. It's pretty close to Markov, so we will be stopping by to continue the Thieves Guild quest soon, but let's hit up this place first. This place was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever done this place in the past. I didn't recognize any of it, but inside was a ghost who wanted me to collect 3 vessels scattered around the dungeon. If we get 3 of those, then the Dragon Priest would be able to be made weak enough to defeat. Look at that door. That is a nice door. The Dragon Priest is inside this bed, but we have to go deeper into this place to find the 3 vessels. Lots of droga and traps along the way to deal with. There is the first vessel, and lots of books for my collection. Vessel number 2, nice, nice. Disable these traps. More droga to take care of. I even got a sneak attack somehow. That guy was a heavy sleeper because I am not quiet. Oh, it looks like there's a claw up ahead. This is the Iron Claw. Didn't expect to be taking one of these home today. The puzzle combo is the same as the one in Bleak Falls Burrow. A little disappointing. Just gotta hit all of the buttons twice each and put the claw in. There's the final vessel. Just gotta take out these walk-in corpses. And now it's ours. And we get a word of power from this wall too. And now to get back to that ghost, I had to pour stuff from the vessels in here and sit in his throne, and now he is mad. Rushed his butt and took him down swiftly. And we've got his mask, mask number 3. That place is definitely worth the time to go check out. Really fun location. Next one is not far from Markov again, so we might as well hit it before carrying on to the Thieves Guild quest. No weird ghost in this one. It's a messy place, I will say. I was a little confused what I had to do inside. Lots of locked places, and it felt like a maze in here. But then I found this. When I activated it, I got a quest to find 2 items to put in the box. Assuming that is how we progress. I ran off to fight more droga and found this cool looking skull. Now to find the other one. There we go, skull number 2. Now all we gotta do is put that one in here and that one in there. This thing will unlock and reveal the Dragon Priest. Now give me that mask of yours, sucker. That is mask number 4. We are speeding through these masks. Right, that is all of them near Markov, I think. Now we are in Markov itself to talk to Calcelmo about figuring out Gallus's journal. Now we need to get into his museum, and he wasn't letting me go see. Inside the museum, there is some Falmer text that will hopefully help us figure out what this says. But since he wasn't letting me go inside the museum, I had to steal the key right here. And I'm gonna leave my follower here for a sec, because I gotta get all sneaky again. Took off all of my armor, so hopefully I am sneakier now. Nope, I got caught sneaking through the museum once. That's fine, I just loaded a save to go back. I kinda got caught again, but this time I decided screw it. I got a bounty for trespassing, but in Skyrim, if you leave no witnesses, you lose the bounty. So I just turned into a savage for a minute. I left no guards left standing, and now the bounty should be clear. Made it to the last room, we grab some paper and charcoal, and we can scribble it against this Falmer language wall. Bring back to the elf to transcribe Gallus's journal for us in Winterhold. Now we exit to the balcony and jump off into this waterfall. Always the best part of this quest. Almost forgot my follower. Sorry about that, my friend. So I messed up. This was the location of a Dragon's Priest mask, but looking at the map, I could have sworn I'd been here. But the bandits around made me question that, since the place should have been cleared. And again, inside, I didn't really recognize this place. And yeah, after going all the way through this place, I found out it was the location of the first Dragon Priest I stumbled across. I just happened to stumble upon the very end of this place. Oh well, that's fine. Now I gotta head home again. I gotta do it from time to time because my inventory is always atrocious with all of these books and other bits I don't want to throw out. I got a few more Dragon Priest masks to hang up for my collection. Gonna empty out these books, and we got the Iron Claw. Cool, cool. Now we are back out on the road to mess up my inventory once again. Now the next mask is right around here somewhere, so I'm getting close. It's a pretty easy dungeon. You meet this lady inside who wants help getting a scroll or something. She'll give you a unique conjuration spell if you do it. Yeah, it was very, very easy because there is 3 of us running around here, so it was truly a cakewalk. There is the Dragon Priest. We're gonna smack the out of it. And there is another Dragon Priest mask. Word of power on the wall too, and there is the scroll she wanted. Never gonna use that spell she gave me. Now to Winterhold to bring the elf the Falmer language scribbles I made. We had to meet in the basement of the Winterhold Inn because Carlia was there. Turns out Mercer had also been stealing from the Thieves Guild stash for ages. Carlia said we had to bring this information to the guild. We were met with drawn weapons, but talked them into checking out the guild's stash. Surprise, surprise, it was empty as heck. He took all of it. Brynjolf told me I should go check out Mercer's house right here in Riften. Should be easy enough, let's go do it. I ended up finding some plans on one of his tables. We are getting very close to being able to get our hands on the skeleton key. First, Carlia says we have to meet Mercer on equal grounds. What she means by that is we have to go become a nightingale, which are guardians of the Twilight Sepulchre, under Nocturnal's rule. So I went with Carlia and Brynjolf to get my nightingale gear. It looks pretty cool, but again, sadly doesn't match my build. We went to talk to Nocturnal herself to become a nightingale. Again, I'm not really gonna explain these people all too much. There is loads of videos online if you want to look up lore about them. And after all of that, Brynjolf thinks that I should be the leader of the Thieves Guild once this Mercer situation has been cleared up. That came out of nowhere. I just want the key and then I'm gonna ditch you guys. Abandoning the Thieves Guild is gonna have to wait though, because leaving the Nightingale Cave, we can turn around and see a dragon on the right on the compass and a dungeon on the left which has a Dragon's Priest mask inside. I mentioned earlier how I'd not been to a location where a Dragon's Priest mask was. So I have never done this before. I've never collected all of the Dragon Priest masks. And you might be curious how I know where all of them are. Well, I've done a load of research building up to this video. I've made notes of where things are that I want to collect and so on. Down goes that Elder Dragon. There's a word of power on the wall. No Dragon Priest. This one though, we have to go across to that mountain over there. Early morning day 70 and I made it finally. I bumped into this Stormcloak outside the dungeon who mentioned wanting a mask inside, which was awkward because I want it too. Might have to end up killing this guy. Anyways, in we go. There is a lot of ghost boys inside. It was like a maze inside here once again. It was weird because I felt like I was going the wrong way the whole time for some reason. But I wasn't. I found this glass claw to add to my collection. Here is the door. It opens. Nice, nice. Spooky looking place on the other side. And there is the Dragon Priest. Let's rush it so it doesn't have a chance to fight back. There is mask number 6. Now let's go return to that Stormcloak and see what his deal is. Outside there was another ghost and I killed him and he dropped a unique weapon. Like I mentioned, I'm playing the Anniversary Edition and I kind of avoided doing that in my other playthroughs because now I don't really know if the stuff I'm finding is a part of the base game or if it's been added with this Anniversary Edition. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the Anniversary Edition for sure. I'm just finding new things in the base game every playthrough, you know, and I can't differentiate right now what's a part of the main game and what's a part of this edition. I'm not quite sure what happened here. It looks like there is a imposter and that Stormcloak is no longer here. I don't know, feel like I'm missing something, but I'm just gonna kill him and keep the mask for myself. We gotta go sort out this. Moving back on to the Thieves Guild quest line. Lot tougher enemies now. This guy spawned with Daedric armor, and getting even closer to Mercer, this other person spawned with a full set of dragon scale armor. armor. We're gonna have to be extra careful going forward. Anyway, we are in. Looks like Mercer left a trail of dead bandits along the way. Wasn't kind enough to sort out these dwarven spheres for us, though. I met with Brynjolf and Carlia inside, and we spotted Mercer on his way through this place. We better get after him. These Falmer are kitted out now, too. They're all beefy looking all of a sudden and wearing heavy armor. I remember to use my orc racial power, too. Been forgetting about it lately, and it will make a minute of my life easier in these harder locations. I could have saved it on Mercer, but Mercer, in my experience, has been a really easy fight, like every single time. Speaking of Mercer, he is close. Just past this door, you can see him taking the eyes of the Falmer. The floor breaks below my feet, and a fight breaks out. Albeit a very, very, very easy fight. I put a paralysis poison on my sword that lasts 25 seconds, and down he goes. The hardest part of the fight is he went invisible, and it confused me for a sec. I didn't realize. I thought he teleported. But nope, he was right where I left him, right there. And down he goes. I got lots of goodies, including the skeleton key. And again, to explain it, it replaces my lockpicks and will not break like the lockpicks. Now, just to wait patiently for death, because this place is flooding and falling apart. After the water hits the ceiling, rubble falls, revealing an entrance for us to escape. And we did it. Skeleton key acquired, but Carlia says I should return it to Nocturnal, which I am not going to do. The key is mine now, suckers. And that is every single Daedric artifact in my possession. Anyways, I stopped by the potion factory to get some ingredients to turn into potions, and I'm back to the main house to unload some stuff. I got the glass claw and 2 masks to put up, as well as a billion books. Oh, I got my Nightingale armor on display, as well as the Nightingale sword and bow. So now that we've got all of the Daedric artifacts, what are we going to do? I want to continue collecting masks, but to do that, we have to continue the main quest line, because all the way at the end of the quest line, there is a Dragon's Priest mask. So we are off to storm up the 7,000 steps to talk to the Greybeards. What are all of these goats running from? All of these trolls is my guess, going up here on a pretty high level. Level 50 now, and I can't tell if there are more trolls than normal at this level, or if I just miss a lot of the trolls on my way up on other playthroughs. It didn't take long to climb the mountain. There is High Hrothgar, the home of the Greybeards. Now, once again, this video is supposed to be about collecting things, not so much explaining the stories. We have to do the whole main storyline to collect 1 item at the end. There's a few things I might collect along the way, but we're gonna speed on through again and briefly mention what's going on and stop and talk about anything that I want to collect. I talked to the Greybeards, learned a few shouts, went off on a trial to get a horn. Had to stab a few chumps, but there was no horn. Instead, I found a letter. The person who left the letter says they were a friend and that they have the horn. And that friend was in Riverwood, and her name was Delphine, a member of the Blades who are dragon hunters. She says dragons weren't gone somewhere and now are coming back, but they are coming back to life. So we went to see for ourselves and found Alduin bringing back this dragon from the dead. Why would you be doing that, you terrible, bad dragon? Alduin ran like a bitch, leaving me to fight this guy. And I talked to Delphine, who thinks the Falmor might have something to do with the dragons coming back. I sneak into a Falmor party, kill a load of Falmor myself, always a good time, and find out they actually had nothing to do with the dragons coming back. Now to return back to Riverwood to tell Delphine that I just wasted my time. And I did just that, but now we've discovered that someone called Espern is alive, who is another old member of the Blades that might be able to help us. And he is supposedly hanging out somewhere in the Ratways according to the Thieves Guild. Looking around didn't take me too long to find him and convince him that the fight is not over since I am Dragonborn. He rushed around gathering his belongings, and so did I rush around to gather his belongings for my collection. He wasn't gonna take them anyway, okay? Did my best Michael Jackson impression on the way into Riverwood to take Espern to Delphine. They seem happy to see each other, but the big thing here is that they seem to think the answer to defeating Alduin might be in Skyhaven Temple. So here we are. It's an awful gray day, but between me and Skyhaven Temple, there is a lot of Forsworn down there. And to make things worse, there's a stupid dragon that turned up. I was expecting it. There's always a dragon here when you get here, but normally I get a revered dragon. This is not a revered dragon. Took down the dragon and took out all of the Forsworn to head on in to where Skyhaven Temple is, only to be met by even more Forsworn. But eventually made it to this door, and to get past the door, we need to give our blood to the seal on the floor. I whipped out a dagger and gave some of my blood. There is the door opening up to reveal Alduin's wall on the other side. Alduin's wall reveals the old Nords used a shout to defeat Alduin. Now the Blades have no knowledge of this shout and say that we have no choice but to get the Greybeards' help. And the Greybeards weren't happy that I'd been talking to the Blades either. Trust me, Agneer, whatever the flip your name is. If I could avoid talking to the Blades at all for this questline, I would, okay? They too sadly had no knowledge of the shout I was asking about, and gave me one final gift, which was the Clear Sky Shout, to be able to clear my way up the mountain and get to the leader of the Greybeards, who was Parthenax, this dragon, who again can't teach me the word of power I need. Going in circles here. He was a little help though, told me to get a Elder Scroll to be able to find out how to use the word. So you remember earlier on we discovered the Elder Scroll and we left it there? Well, we are back to get it. And it looks like all of the enemies in this place have respawned. Oh, I got my one-handed up to level 100 today. And you know what? We're gonna turn into a legendary skill and reset it. It's gonna make my one-handed weapons do a heck of a lot less damage, but you know what? It's fine. We'll be able to work that back up in no time. Another thing that I have never done and I didn't know about until you guys told me was you can actually use Force Rodin on this bell in Blackreach. Is it a bell? I think it's a bell. But after doing it, a dragon will turn up inside Blackreach. It's a unique dragon as well that has its name on display. And since I reset my one-handed, it was definitely the toughest dragon I've had to fight for a while. But down it goes. And now we can progress through this elevator to get to the Elder Scroll. Nice and easy. Alright, party snacks, I've got the scroll. Now to read it at the throat of the world here. To get taken to a vision of the past where you see 3 Nords fighting Alduin. They scream Dragonrend, in turn teaching me how to use Dragonrend, the shout we're gonna need to help us beat Alduin. And then they use the Elder Scroll to cast Alduin forward in time. Leaving the vision of the past reveals that Alduin himself had turned up at the throat of the world. We get into it and I take him down fairly easy, but he says he's not a normal dragon and can't be defeated here. And then the jerk flies on off. We have to find out where he's gone to hide. And to do that, we're gonna have to trap one of his dragon friends. See, the castle in Winterhold is called Dragonreach, and it actually has a dragon trap on top of it. We're gonna need to use that to trap a dragon. I talked to the Jarl about letting me use it, but he said until the threat of Ulfric Stormcloak potentially attacking the town, he won't let me. Can you move, please? So we have to hold a peace meeting between the two sides of the civil war. The Imperials and the Stormcloaks. We need to make sure they get along until this dragon menace is sorted out. I got them to barter and to behave for a little bit. Alright, so my game started to act up here. The only option I was getting was to talk to Esbern, which is weird because you should have an option to talk to Parthenax or the Greybeards as well as Esbern. So I talked to Esbern, which when I did, it would give me the quest to kill Parthenax for his past crimes. I reloaded a save and went to talk to Parthenax to see, and there was nothing. And then back to Esbern, I got another set of dialogue that gave me the name of the dragon I needed to call to trap at Dragon's Reach. So I did avoid killing Parthenax. That was weird, because the only other time I've picked between siding with the Blades or the Greybeards, I picked the Greybeards. So I don't know why the game was trying to force me into picking the Blades. Maybe I did something wrong, I don't know. I'm not sure what I did though. In this playthrough, it just felt like it made more sense to side with the Greybeards and Parthenax for me. I guess it's time to go to Whiterun to trap a dragon, but my game was still being weird. Yeah, I had a marker to go here, but there was nothing there. I did wait downstairs in the castle and it made the Jarl appear. So there we go, I think we are good to go. We are ready to call a dragon up in Dragon's Reach. Let's call the name of that dragon, and there he is. Now, we don't have to fight this dragon at all. We just gotta cast Dragonrend to bring him down to the ground, and he will walk into this trap. And talking to him reveals that some of Alduin's followers are doubting Alduin, and he promises to take me to him if I release him from the trap. I trusted the beast and released him. He stayed true to his word and let me hop on to be taken to Alduin. Now, I was not aware of how hard this would be. Since we made our one-handed skill legendary, I was doing not a lot of damage to the enemies here. And this is just the start. There will be a good few dragons here and tough Droga. I also noticed I didn't have many potions, so I reloaded a save and went back home. I couldn't carry all of my potions around with me because they would weigh me down a lot, so I was just coming back every so often to top up. But clearly I was dumb and forgot before the biggest part of the game to restock. Potions in hand, and let's try that again. Call for the dragon. This guy got thrown into another dimension. This dragon got trapped and untrapped, and we rode off into the sunset to live happily ever after. Kinda, because now we are looking for the World Eater to save all of Skyrim from total destruction. It is going better this time though, if you ignore that arrow sticking out of my head. Headed on into the temple of this place. Again, it's pretty tough inside. I had to keep an eye on my health to stop and use potions. I could have hotkeyed the potions, but I feel a lot safer hitting a button to pause combat entirely than scrambling to spam my potion hotkey. This Muppet drops a claw that we need to open that door over there behind him. If you could hold this for me, I would appreciate it. I will trade you for that claw. It's the diamond claw and the 4th total claw we have collected. There's also a word of power past that door. I've been getting shouted at a lot here, so it's my turn. Dragon Priest ahead by the portal that will lead to Alduin. This was the reason we came here, was to get that mask off that priest. And I believe that is Dragon Priest mask number 7. I just slayed 2 dragons side by side and they are still coming. Dragon number 4. That's not good. Okay, I think I got a little bit cocky there. It's fine, I'm back for revenge. I'm dancing on his head now. Place is clear. Now we can jump in the portal to Sovngarde. We made it. Now let's find the World Eater. And maybe we can get a souvenir or two. We have to run around casting clear skies to be able to... Oh, shit. Scared the crap out of me, Alduin. Anyway, I had to prove myself to this man mountain to be allowed to get into the Hall of Valor. And I did just that, then crossed the bony bridge into that hole to get the help of the 3 heroes that were in the vision of the past I seen. Yeah, we all went out and shouted clear skies together, which forced Alduin to come out and face us. And I gotta say, out of all of the Skyrim videos I made, this was the easiest Alduin fight so far. I casted Dragon Rend on him 1 time to get him to land down on the floor. And that was it. It was game over for Alduin. I just swung away like crazy until I took him down. I've had a harder time with other dragons in this game up until this point. But there's one problem. Now that Alduin is dead, I can't get into the Hall of Valor. And I looked online, this is the only place you can really get a good souvenir from Sovngarde itself. So I had to reload a save and do it again. Alduin was so easy to kill in this playthrough anyway that I really wasn't worried about it. I ended up getting some of this roasted ox, and there's also a roasted ox head on this plate, which I believe, going off what I've seen on Reddit, you can only find these here. I don't know, that might be wrong, but it's pretty cool. I wish you could take like the golden plates and bowls and cups around here. Sadly, that ox head is gonna have to do. It's also not a food item, it's in the miscellaneous items, which is pretty interesting. Took out Alduin once again, and now we are gonna get sent back to Skyrim. And that is job done. We've got the 7th mask, which is what we went after, and also the diamond claw. Pretty cool moment of all of the dragons at the throat of the world, but now what are we going to do? Well, there's still a lot to collect in Skyrim. We have 3 masks left from the base game to collect. They did add 4 more masks in the Dragonborn DLC, so let me know if you want to see another 100 days in this character, and we will 100% do that. There is the diamond claw up on display, and I'm kind of mad at myself because we were so insanely close to getting the Dragonbane weapon, and I didn't even know it. If we go back to Skyhaven Temple and ignore Espern and Delphine, we can go into this room and steal the Dragonbane sword. And we can get a set of the Blades armor in this chest, which looks pretty cool, but I'm sticking with my Daedric set for now. I'll drop them off at my house the next time we visit. But for now, we are heading to Winterhold. We have some more masks to get and not a lot of time left to get them. Let's run up and talk to Ferelda. She wanted me to cast the fear spell before she would let me pass into the College of Winterhold. I did just that and got walked along the bridge. I'm pretty sure you have to do the College of Winterhold quest to be able to get 1 mask. I don't think you could just go to the location and pick it up. That means we are zooming through the College of Winterhold questline. I had my first magic class and managed not to kill anyone. Then went off on a school field trip and we discovered the Eye of Magnus, which, spoilers, ends up getting taken back to the college. Bad idea, you idiots. Most interesting thing that happened on this field trip was when I tried to leave, I got confronted by 3 hired thugs. I just saved the world by killing Alduin, and you get attacked by thugs. And looking at the contract, it looks like it came from a random guard in Markarth. Yeah, I upset a guard. Moving on to report my findings from the field trip to the Archmage Savos. Told me to go check the library to see if I can find any more information. And I checked, but the orc says that any information we had been stolen. Because why wouldn't it be stolen? So we are off to repossess those books. The books are in Felglow Keep, and I believe they were stolen by a student from the college and ended up in a evil mage's hands. Nothing a little bit of poison or paralysis won't fix on the end of my sword. Hit the mage and take her down. It's so hard that I think she's broken. I can't loot her, and I don't know if she's really dead. Now to take these books back to the college. I didn't think, but this guy sells books that I can take for my collection. I don't even care if I've got these already and I'm buying doubles right now. I'll take all of them. After returning the books, I had a chat with someone from the Sijic Order who said I had to talk to some kind of spirit underneath the college. And that spirit told me that I needed to get the Staff of Magnus. I went to tell the Archmage, and I ended up getting told by this lady to go check a place called Mazolf, which is some Dwemer ruins. And we are off. I got attacked by every kind of enemy under the sun along the way. There was bears, there was spiders, there was skeevers, there was wolves, there was trolls, another bear. What is going on today? Speaking of enemies, there will be a lot inside here. Now hear me out. I don't have the footage for the rest of this place. Somehow I lost the files or stopped recording somehow. But I did find a map at the end that showed the staff was at a place called Labyrinthia. With the staff there and the Eye of Magnus now back at the college, Ancano decided to screw with it and blow us all up. It's okay, I'm fine. So is this lady. The Archmage Savos is supposed to be dead, and he's supposed to be laying outside here somewhere, but for the first time in any of my playthroughs, he isn't there. Weird. He probably just glitched through the floor. Anyway, Winterhold is under attack now. This is chaos, and this is another point in the playthrough where I realized Warrior isn't quite as bad as I thought it would be versus the other builds you can do. I don't doubt there are easier ones like the Conjuration build, just standing back letting other things do everything for you, but I seriously feel safer as my Warrior build right now than I did with my Conjuration build. Standing down here between all of the enemies attacking Winterhold and swinging at them, you gotta kill 10 of them to save Winterhold, which was fairly easy. And now to go stop Ancano, I need to go get that staff from Labyrinthia. And Labyrinthia is all the way over here. Now this place, we are gonna get the next get the out of my way. I think this is the place we're gonna be getting the rest of the Dragon's Priest masks we need. It's a big place. We can get 3 masks total here. But first one we're gonna go get is the toughest one from the Dragon Priest himself. The other 2 you can just go pick up. Now let's run on up these stairs and go in to get the Staff of Magnus and the first of 3 masks. You are almost immediately met by this room that has a bony dragon that comes out of the ground. Now again, of the 3 times I've done this on YouTube, the warrior build was 100% easier. I ran into some of these ghosts inside just past the dragon, and I took 1 of each kind of weapon they had to offer for my collection. We'll hang these up. And here we are, the room with the Dragon Priest. A nice quick save, never hurt anyone before. Now the priest had these spirits charging him and the staff or something. We have to go take down those 2 guys, and now he was able to be fought. And fought he was. Again, easy as this has ever been for me. I'm curious what you guys think is the easiest build. I always thought Conjuration, but once you grind your character up, any build can be pretty decent. Anyway, down he goes, and I got the Staff of Magnus for the college quest and the mask we came here for. Now, we are not done here. Like I said, there are 2 more masks to get. But for now, I need to go home to get all my other masks to do that. So let's finish this College of Winterhold story first. Staff of Magnus in hand, I stormed up to the College of Winterhold, blasting through the shields that Ancano had made. Used the staff to close the Eye of Magnus to give me a opening to strike Ancano. That was quick, and that is Ancano dealt with. Now the Sigic Order turn up to take the Eye of Magnus because we're not ready for it. I get to keep the staff though, and there is the College of Winterhold questline done. I said earlier on I'm not going to be doing quests just for the sake of doing quests, but I wanted to finish the College of Winterhold because we can get Ancano's gear to put on display, and also the Archmage's robe, so I figured why not. We are about to get the final few masks you can get from the base game. Again, there is 4 masks you can get from the Dragonborn DLC, but looking at how many days we have left, I don't think we're gonna have time to get those ones. So let's at least finish up our base game collection. So we are gonna head back to Labyrinthia one final time to go into this middle section right here. And inside there is this ruined mask shrine of sorts. And on the floor is a wooden mask that we can take. Now there is 1 left to get. If we put the wooden mask on, we will go back to when the room was perfect. Now all we gotta do is put the masks on the stands and a new one will be revealed. And this one I think is both the best looking and has the best enchant. I didn't talk about what all of these masks do, but you can wear all of them and they all have a pretty nice effect besides the wooden one. Now we can take all of these masks back off these stands and take this wooden one back off, and we are back in real time. And now we have all of the masks from the base game and we can put them all nicely on display in our house. So we got 10 days left, and what are we gonna do with that time? Well, we are still missing a lot of the dragon claws. First stop is Winterhold. If we go to the general store in here, you can buy a claw from this lady. She bought it off someone and is never gonna go to the location it's used at, and you can get it for a mere 50 coins. Yeah, that is a steal. I will take it. Now, I don't know if you have to do the location this claw is tied to, but I wanted to do it anyway, just in case. And again, I have never ever done this location. It's a place I'd remember for sure because it's very unique. I went in ready to be swarmed by Droga again, but it was dead quiet, not a single enemy. And there was a lot of these weird glowing balls bouncing around the floor. Cobwebs everywhere and no physical enemies. And here is the door the claw unlocks. Now I was so zoned out with there being no enemies that I severely underestimated the first and only enemy in this place. Some kind of spirit that killed me pretty quick. Second attempt was miles easier. It looks like it was the spirit of this guy. There's a pretty cool helmet on him. I'm gonna take it. Now we can leave and let me check this new helmet out. Oh, that is nice. Might be my new favorite thing I found in this whole playthrough. Look at those horns. It matches the Daedric armor perfect. Ugh, I really want to use it. We would be losing a lot of our magic powers from our other helmet if we keep using it, but it looks really good. Now, you know what? I'm doing it. This is my new outfit. It's a wet and miserable day in Solitude, and we are about about to go use another college in hopes of collecting more claws. This time, it's the Bard's College. We talked to this guy who wants me to go get a poem called King Olaf's Verse. Sounds easy enough, let's go do it. We are on the road again. And here's the place you can find the Ruby Dragon Claw. It's set inside right at the entrance. Unlike the last dungeon, there is a lot of Droger in here. It is riddled. Now, you get the poem in this secret room in the dungeon and then end up helping this spirit to get revenge on Olaf. You gotta slay a absolute ton of Droger in this room before finally taking down Olaf himself. That was easy. Now to return to the college with the poem. We ended up having a festival where they recognized me as a full-fledged member of the Bard's College, which is a title that I could not care less about, honestly, but here we are. Day 93, and the next stop is Ivarstead. Now, we need to go to the inn in Ivarstead and talk to a guy running the place. He asks me to check out the barrow in town because there are spirits haunting the place. This barrow is smack in the middle of town. Yeah, time to go on in, and there is a few puzzles inside. You end up finding a ghost you gotta gut. And I found a journal. I didn't read it, but that was the quest objective. I'm only here looking for a claw, which was weird because I didn't end up getting a claw in here for this door. It says I need the sapphire claw to open it. I'm gonna return to the innkeeper and see what happens. Oh, it looks like he'll give me that claw as a reward for the journal though. Now, I have the claw and the quest is done, so I don't really need to go back in, but I'm gonna go in and check it out in case there's a word of power inside. I opened up the door with a dragon claw and in we go. We were met by a lot of Droger and yep, there is another word of power. I'd like to collect all of these, but we won't have time in today's video. We are almost out of days. Back home, now let's see where we are at with these claws. Looks like my son brought home a pet. Whatever they bring home for a pet, you gotta say yes. Has anyone ever said no to this question? Anyway, we can add the coral claw to my collection, the ruby claw, and the sapphire claw. We are still missing 3 claws. We are missing the ivory claw, the emerald claw, and the ebony claw still. Now, day 94 isn't over quite yet. I want to go back to Solitude to sign up to join the Imperial Legion. I have a reason for doing it, so you can get a claw not too far into this storyline. Ricky wanted me to prove myself by taking back a fort from some bandits. Sounds easy enough, and it was. These guys stood no chance. Now back to Solitude to report to Ricky. She seemed pleased. Now it's time for the quest I came here for, and it's called the Jagged Crown. There is a rush between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks to get this crown, and it seems both sides have located it at the same time. I met with Ricky out in the field who gave the orders to go in and kick some Stormcloak butt. Makes it even easier that we have a ton of Imperials following us around. Made it to the door that has the ebony claw on the ground just sitting there for us. We can pick it up and use it to open the door. Now the Jagged Crown isn't far away. It's sitting on this guy's head. Poor guy didn't have a chance to stand up properly. Now you're supposed to have Hadvar in this room or Ralof, depending on who you side with in this storyline, but Hadvar is not here. See, I want to keep the crown for myself, and if we continue on with the quest line, the game is going to take it from us. And you can trick the game by pickpocketing the crown into Ralof or Hadvar's pocket, and then return to turn in the crown, and the game will think you have it, so it lets you finish the quest without actually taking it from you, because you don't have it, because it's in Ralof or Hadvar's pockets, but he's not here. Now hear me out. I reloaded a lot of saves, and Hadvar was never here for me in this playthrough. Even when we meet Ricky outside, here's a screenshot of 5 Imperials outside of the area. Hadvar was never there for me. I tried skipping time, I tried everything. So I don't know if they fixed it. I want to say they haven't. They never fix things in this game. I know we could just not complete the quest and keep the crown on my person to keep it, but then eventually we couldn't collect more stuff from finishing this story. I even tried planting it on other NPCs too, but it wasn't letting me. But that's okay, I'll turn it in and be done with this quest line for now. We are cutting it insanely close with getting the last few claws. I'm not sure where I got this Forbidden Legend quest, but looking at the claw list, this one is linked to getting one of those claws. Starts off with this abandoned camp where you find a journal that I didn't read, because reading is for chumps. Yes, I'm collecting like a billion books. books, but I've not read a single one of them. Now, inside, you find a dead guy with the ivory claw. It's a pretty cool claw because you use it for more than just the regular old doors. I used it to get through some of these other areas in this place until I came to this guy, who seemed important, had an item I needed for the quest. I have another fragment to get for that quest, and the fragment is in this place. Running around gathering a few fragments so we could make an amulet, I think. Gotta jump down into this hole in the ground and get a little wet. How did you get down here like that? You are a magician. Okay, I made it to a big bad guy and he seemed to have teleported. Oh, wait. I'm not dead. I'm fine. I just got Fusrudad and now I gotta get back up. I thought I was dead. Took him down and got the fragment we need. Now we have to reforge an amulet with all of the fragment pieces we've gotten. And to do that, we're heading all the way over by Markov and into this cave behind this waterfall. And I almost immediately found the Emerald Claw, which I believe is the final claw we needed for our collection. But I am gonna press on and see what other goodies we can get in here. I used that claw to get through a tunnel of doors, which was pretty interesting. They just keep on coming. Then the ivory claw is needed here as well. Gonna get that sucker open. Ended up in this room where we have to put the fragments on the table and then defeat all of these ghosts. And let me tell you something, it did not go according to plan. I got Fusrodad again and my leg got stuck on the shut gate. And when I managed to glitch back to my feet, I was on the other side of the door. This is bad. I could let my follower deal with them in there, but that might take literally years off my life waiting. So I reloaded a save and tried again. I'm back and I'm still getting thrown around. This is the most hilarious quest I've done in a while. Every time I try to get back up, the jerks throw me around. I can't do anything. Until I could. After getting yeeted 82 billion times, I did manage to get enough hits to kill them all and have the amulet reforged. Thank the heavens I am done with that quest. Now to return home and display all of my claws. That is every claw you can get. Kinda. There is an amethyst claw that you can get in the Dragonborn DLC, but this is all of them in the base game. Again, if you want me to do another 100 days collecting stuff, we can go and get it. Oh, I also got to keep the amulet, so I will put that away in here safely. Now we are running out of time. Day 99, and I spent some time now trying to hit another goal I had for the video. And that was hitting 100,000 coins. So I was just out and about selling things and doing business. And I hit my goal in Acadia's alchemy shop in Whiterun. We now have 100,000 coin on our person. So what are we doing for the 100th day? We're gonna appreciate what we have done over the 100 days in this playthrough. We collected every single Dragon Priest mask that came out when the game released. Again, same with the claws, every single one of them. I got every Daedric artifact we could possibly get. Lots of random pieces of armor I thought would be cool to collect throughout the quests. Like the armor of the person we defeated to get this very house. And our nice rope collection on either side. Every single bone and scale from all of the dragons we defeated along the way. We could have had a lot more if we killed that first dragon sooner, but I didn't. We have 100 gajillion books. This is insane. It just keeps on going. I would love to collect every single book you can get in this game eventually. That would be really cool. All the precious gems I found, I didn't sell a single one. I kept all of those too. Same with my scrolls. I didn't get as many of these as I thought I would. And finally, just a load of random things I thought were cool to keep along the way. Like unique named items and just souvenirs. And I made it to level 57 total and got a lot of skill trees worked on. I didn't really talk about every single skill I took, and I'm not gonna talk about every tree, but my build was pretty good, I would say. So we did a lot, and I had an absolute blast. This is something I wanted to do in Skyrim for a while. Like I say, we might do more if this video does well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.